It's Friday night. It's not quite 5 o'clock. It's only 4:30 here, Central Time. Usually I go 5 o'clock West Coast time, which right now probably around 2:30 back home. Nothing specifically planned, no particular agenda, just hanging out here at the Crowded Barrel. There is a small group gathering here and drinking a few. But before we get into it, let me see who's joined us. So, doing everything by ear. Just playing along, see how things go, hoping everything holds up. Whiskey Lover Society, thank you much for tuning in. Bourbon Bytes, I think you're out here this weekend. Mr. Great Shot, thank you very much for tuning in. Mark Slinger, how you doing, sir? Drinking a Glenmorangie peated. We met we met up at Glenmorangie Distillery. And Donner Pass Whiskey, how you doing? And Richard Agnew, how you doing? All right. So this is the Bastards Ball weekend. The actual event is on on Sunday. Sorry, I just landed on Sunday. But some people arrive early, enjoy the weekend, visit some distilleries, see the sights, come by the Crowded Barrel, have a drink, and so forth. So I've been to most of the distilleries in the area, but we'll be revisiting one, Andalusia, tomorrow, doing a barrel pick among the whiskey tubers. Right now, I am drinking a cocktail. They call this the New Fashioned. It's a blend of, it's a whiskey, one of the whiskeys, I suppose, agave, bitters, and rainwater. I don't know if that is rainwater's a drink or is that talk about rainwater like, oh, hey, Daniel, how you doing?
How the hell are you?
How you doing? Sit on down, man.
Yeah, I will. I'm going to get a drink.
Okay, cool. I'm buying.
I heard there's drinks.
I'm buying, yeah, I'm on the tab.
You can't buy me a drink in my own bar. It doesn't work that way.
No, I just get it cheaper that way. Anyway, so if you haven't been here before, and most everybody watching knows about this place, started off at a Wizard Academy marketing school, then spawned a little whiskey marketing school, sommelier training, and started a YouTube channel, the Whiskey Vault, and then the Whiskey Tribe, and then that spawned the cult of the Whiskey Vault, the Facebook group, and so forth. And then they crowdfunded this distillery. So they produce their own spirit. They source MGP, which is what goes into Eleanor. We'll talk about this in a little bit. Hopefully, Richard Amaro is doing a tour right now. Richard is one of the main bartenders here. He and I went through the sommelier level 1 course. Anyway, so not only can you buy, say, a bottle of Eleanor or some of the other spirits here, they also, you can buy cocktails here. Now, they're not allowed, because this is not a like a regular bar. They can only use spirits that are actually produced here. So they have to get very, very inventive and creative in terms of the blends. Robert Licorice, how you doing? Thank you very much for the $4.99. Said, cut off your beard. Did you lose your power? No, I gained a chin. No, I started a new job, so I thought to look more professional, I'd shave the beard off. And to tell you the truth, in terms of comfort level, I'd rather not have the beard. But eventually, people will stop mentioning the beard and they'll forget about it. Anyway, so they do a bunch of cocktails here. This is the menu. So you can get a New Fashioned. You can get a Peaches Ahead, which has a peach nectar, brown sugar, and simple syrup. A Black Porch Tea, which is whiskey, black tea syrup, lemon juice, and Angostura spirit, bitters. Iced whiskey coffee, which is whiskey, iced coffee, and vanilla cream. A ginger brown, which is whiskey, lime juice, ginger beer. They have vodka drinks such as a Summer Sling or a Moscow Mule, and other gin drinks, and then non-alcoholic beverages. So you can come by here and not just pick up a bottle, such as this Eleanor, but you can also come by and have a really nice cocktail. Like I say, Richard is really, really good at what he does and make, and the others do as well. So I'm drinking the New Fashioned. It's their take on an old fashioned. So, c'est vous plaît. That's French.
Am I ruining all of your tasting notes? Oh, you're just drinking a cocktail.
Yeah. So this is, talk to me a little bit. So this is the Eleanor. This is my third one I've been picking up from here. This is the Isla.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the Isla.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Emma, how you doing? We can always squeeze in another chair, and I can always move over. I can move. So Emma is here. No.
No, it's
Why are
okay.
you
The whole point,
apologizing?
he's doing it in public. He didn't get to claim privacy.
In fact,
yeah.
No. And in fact, I opened a tab, so I'm buying drinks for everyone. So anybody wants something, I just put it on my tab. Let me know when it hits like $5,000. If it gets
$5,000?
yeah, $5,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good limit.
Okay. Let me know when it gets there. Anyway,
$5,000. Good God. I don't think we have $5,000 worth of things to sell in there.
I've never seen you with a baseball hat on. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a new thing.
I don't know.
Not really that new. It's my other hat is in my car.
You have a cowboy hat or something.
You
have a cap.
I have a Panama.
I used to wear a cap.
And a flat cap, but it's too hot.
Yeah,
it's too damn hot.
Yeah, I have one in my luggage made out of wool.
Yeah,
it'll make me sweat.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, so interested in this one. So special edition, 1050. They're all special editions. Private reserve.
That
select.
sticker is a Texas legal requirement.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It's supposed to be that you can only sell special edition bottles from the tasting room. So that the sticker you put on it says, "Oh, this is a special edition." Okay. What that means is I get to sell it here.
Okay. It's not like a private reserve select.
Here, kick that foot thing on your left over the.
It's a little wobbly.
Well,
it's like California, you know. It's got a little wobbly going on
over to the edge if you can, to the left edge.
Table's a little wobbly. I think it's all right. I think it's all right.
Come on.
Anyway.
Okay. So yeah, Isla, and that's one of the. I think it's the final time we're going to do it with that Isla barrel. We've sort of gotten everything we can out of it.
So it's 119.6 proof, or 59.8% alcohol by volume. You couldn't get it over 60. I mean, what the hell? Jeez.
Fingers crossed.
Some people's kids.
We couldn't let it sit there that long. We don't do old whiskey. Yeah. Crowded Barrel. What are you talking
about? 3 years, 3 months. This is bottle number 37. So tell me about Isla. So I heard it's non-peated.
Yeah, it was a Lefroy barrel.
Oh, okay.
But when we smelled it, it didn't smell like it had peated whiskey in it. It's a quarter cask.
Okay.
Or not a quarter cask. It's like a 15-ish to 20. Anyway, then first thing we aged in it did not impart any smoke at all. So that's why we decided we don't think these were smoked.
So, but if you sniffed the cask, you didn't get anything out of it?
I know we got something, but it was like a sweet whiskey note and a little bit of a almost wine-esque note.
So what does Lefroy do that's not peated? Ardbeg a long time ago
or
did it unpeated.
It could have just been that sat so long that we lost the.
It just lost all the.
I don't know. I really don't know. But I was 100% convinced it was going to add all this smoke, and it didn't add any of it.
Was that what you were going for?
Mm-hmm. But I actually really love what it turned into.
Okay, cool. I'll look forward to trying it when I get home. So I don't want to open it now because I don't want to open the bottle in my my luggage when I get home. Anyhow, and you can see a picture of Eleanor in the background. One of these days we'll have a talk. I want to do an own bottling similar to this, except for dedicated to my mother.
Okay.
And we'll call it Juanita. It's spelled with a W. And we'll pick a. You know what the profile would like? I don't know if this is possible. A malt, but on the sweeter side. But on the sweeter side, similar to that Aaron that was aged here.
Yeah. Did you try that yet?
Well, yeah, you blinded me with it.
Oh, no. Oh, you're right. It was that one.
Now, I'm not saying that particular spirit necessarily from the distillery, but that's the kind of profile. When I think of my mom, she wasn't a whiskey drinker. But when I think of my mom, that would something that would be more of a mind for my mom. Mm-hmm. Something on the sweeter side.
Yeah.
Maybe floral.
So the Aaron was really great because it's unpeated, but then the oak really added this really nice rich note to it. We're about to release those Aaron, first round of that Aaron.
Dibs!
And actually what it is we had 8 or 10 barrels, 5-gallon new oak barrels that were getting so over oaked that they were over a year, but it was like, oh no, oh my God, I think we've ruined these. Yeah. And we were terrified. So I said, Emma, let's do this. Get one of our fresh dumped bourbon barrels and let's combine all these 8 barrels, proof down to a lower, to a 115 or 110 to switch to wood sugars.
Okay.
And re-barrel it into 153-gallon barrel.
Okay.
Used bourbon.
Okay.
And it is magnificent.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
So that sort of...
And Robert says he thinks someone lied to me about that thing, those barrels actually being from Lefroy. Which I guess is possible. It's not like they had a certificate of authenticity or something.
So were they disassembled or assembled?
They were assembled.
Assembled? So they didn't say Lefroy on the head or anything like that? So interesting.
I don't think so. Maybe there was. I don't want to interrupt.
Anyway.
What she's doing. Anyway.
So, bunch of other people here. Well, so hopefully a bunch of people will drop in.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk in and say hi.
drinks. If someone wants a drink, let me know. Put it on my tab.
You have to sit here and talk first, though. That's
Yes.
the payment.
So this
is the MGP we did.
Oh, okay.
It's really
Someone, I think maybe it was Robert or someone earlier was mentioning that I should try that.
Mm-hmm.
So this is it's got a like a honey on bread.
Yeah,
honey
I prefer it to the rye version.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very honey.
Yeah.
Yeah, honey.
Cherry is stronger.
You make toast.
It was Mr. Great Shot said it was him.
Take toast out of a toaster.
Mm-hmm.
Put some honey on it.
Yeah.
And
some berries and cream.
That's very much what it's like. So this is the weekend of the Bastards Ball. It's not the weekend of the whiskey tubers thing or the whiskey this or the whiskey that or anything whiskey. And I like that because it's about the people.
Yes.
The whiskey is just a conduit for us to get together and have a really, really good time. And people bring things to share and people hang out, just have a really, really, really good time. So I've been super, super busy at work and all the way up until...
how's the new gig?
If I had any hair, I'd be pulling it out.
Okay.
But I love my house. I live right off the wine trail. I've got a new bicycle. I'm going on a bicycle ride through the vineyard.
The photos look beautiful.
It's really, really, really nice. So, but work has been kept me. I was working 6-7 days a week, 12-hour days, and I got so much shit to get done. I almost said, you know what? I need to work this weekend. I need to work on Friday. I think I might bail. And then I was like, no, dude. There's a difference between existing and living. And if you're skipping the things that really matter in life in order to do more work, again, work's not going to go to where the stuff's going to be there. Then you're not really living, and you have to take a time out. You'll mentally burn out. You'll physically burn out. Because I've been here half a dozen times or so.
Right.
What I would really, really, really miss ultimately is the ability to hang out with these people.
Yes.
And what this is really about.
Yes.
And to say hello. I got to meet Ed O'Mara earlier. He's still rolling around here somewhere.
I had this rule
here.
that it led to some sort of rough mornings. It always leads to rough mornings. But I had this rule for a long time as an introvert. Daniel, 10 years from now, what are you going to remember more? Are you going to remember waking up well rested? Or are you going to remember going out to that show with your friends and having this community and you know what I mean? And so what are you going to remember? Now, in moderation, there's a certain point which that gives up.
Sure.
Somebody asked me what this cigar was, and I was looking for the tag that I took off of it, and I can't find it. I don't know.
So the other thing
Someone gave this to me, and I have no idea what brand it is or what I'm smoking.
So the other thing that can keep me from living, I have a big fear of flying.
Really?
Yeah.
We've talked about this.
I'm somewhat acrophobic, and it's all because I had one really, really bad flight. And I know people who won't fly. I know people who won't go up tall ladders, who won't do this, that, and I hope they can get over that. But I made a decision: is either I'm going to live and be able to do and see the things I want to do, or I'm going to let fear keep me from.
How does it feel? Like, does it feel like aggressive butterflies, or does it feel like cold sweat?
No.
Or
it's you imagine swimming in the ocean. Okay, you go swimming, and then you hear the tubas. Bump, bump.
Oh yeah,
bump, bump, bump.
Like just impending doom.
Yes, no.
But I mean physically.
My blood pressure shoots up.
Okay.
Yeah, I can feel.
Or is it just your head spinning?
No, so I had a heart attack in 2015.
Yeah.
So my blood pressure goes up, and I can feel it like right in here. But it's all about mental. And I don't want to talk about this.
Yeah. No, I'm just interested.
In short, what I learned is this. So when the first Jurassic Park movie came out, I saw it 3 times. First time I saw it by myself. Second time I brought a friend of mine. Now I already know what's going to happen.
Right.
And there's this one scene where there's this crawl space, and they're crawling through, trying to get away from the velociraptors. And there's a gap in it, and there's this one scene where the camera goes down like this, and you see the velociraptor comes right out the screen.
Right.
Now, when I knew the scene was coming up, so I turned, I watched my friend, I'm just watching him, and he jumps.
Yeah.
Like everybody does. Now, why did he jump? Is it because he thought velociraptors would actually come to the screen?
Yeah.
Is it because he didn't believe they're extinct or whatever?
Right.
No. it's a reflex.
Right.
And so if you've had a traumatic experience, your body just reflexes.
Yeah, your body remembers.
And so even though you can look at all the statistics and all the facts and whatever else, your body still it's a non-cognitive response.
You know what's wild about that? They studied traumatic experiences and why do they take so little repetition for such a deep engraving in your mental brain patterns. And it turns out that the not the glue, that's the wrong word because it doesn't stick carves, but effectively there's a physical material that carves a deeper path down that thought pattern, and it's adrenaline. It's when you have a bad traumatic experience and it combines with raw adrenaline, it carves a deeper adrenaline-based path in your brain, and it's harder to recover or reroute from it.
And most people who have these sort of responses, the only way you do it is keep doing it. Now, I would say my fear level my response has greatly diminished.
That's good.
About 90%. But when you go over the Sierras, especially when you leave early in the morning, you get this. And every time I come into Austin, you're doing this on the way in. There is something a little bit called a little liquid courage.
Yeah. That's real.
So the last flight I took, I went down. I had to go down on business. I had to go down to Southern California, and so I had a little liquid courage on my way back. A little. Your choice is either between Wild Turkey, I think Wild Turkey 101, or a blended malt, a blended Scotch.
Okay.
I can't remember what the brand is. Chivas. I think it's Chivas Regal.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I go with the bourbon. I found myself flying in, landing just fine at the Oakland Airport. By the way, here's a funny thing. So I was flying with JSX. It's a subsidiary of something blue, sky blue, JetBlue.
JetBlue is my favorite.
And so it's really, really small. It's almost like anyway. So I'm hanging. It has a little tiny lounge. And all they have is coffee and water. And who walks in but John Voight?
No way.
Yeah, John Voight walks in. So yeah.
That is awesome.
Most of these people don't know who John Voight is. Go watch the first Mission Impossible movie. He plays the bad guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, Academy Award winner.
Oh, so good.
Anyways, but he had the mask on, he was wearing glasses, which I'm not used to seeing glasses, and he was having problems with a coffee machine.
Right.
It was a Starbucks coffee machine where you push a bunch of buttons. So I went up to him to help him out, and I asked him, I said, "Anybody ever tell you look a little like John Voight?" And he goes, "I am John Voight." I'm like, "Really?" And he actually
explains that.
Yeah, he goes, "Yeah, I'm John Voight." So we hung out for 2 hours. No one else around. Him and I.
That is awesome.
I was tempted to do a selfie, but no. That's not class. Don't take a selfie. Don't ask for an autograph. Don't be a jerk. Just, they get tired of that.
That's awesome.
Anyways, I was hanging out with John Voight at the
and the best thing that you got from that is the story.
Yes.
You don't need the photo.
Yeah, exactly. Although, how many people are going to believe me? That's the problem.
That's believable.
John
Voight's believable.
The biggest problem is most of the people I work with are half my age, and I say, "I met John Voight," and they're like, "Who?" Anyway,
I'm gonna walk around with these guys.
Okay.
But thanks for letting me sit with you.
I'll
pop my head in. Cheers to you, sir.
Cheers,
As
dude.
always,
Yes.
I'm very glad that you are
I'm
here.
very, very, very glad to be. Oh, but I need to finish the story, which is the other thing that can keep me from coming here is some stupid fear. But then once I'm land, I'm good. And the it was a little humid when I first stepped in, but the wind's blowing, so it's doing all right.
That's because this whole property is covered in water. So it'll drain water for the next 4 days.
Oh, okay.
Because that's bedrock you're looking at. So the water hits all this ground and then it seeps out of the creases of the bedrock.
But there's a slight breeze going, which as long as it keeps moving.
And it'll be that way for the next 2 days.
So, anyway.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm neglecting the peoples here.
Cheers, guys.
All right. Cheers. I'll see you later.
I'm going to put my anonymous hat back.
So everyone said driving insanely more dangerously risky compared to flying. The difference.
That's true.
It's not about statistics.
Well, that's because fear not about logic.
Yeah. It's not about facts. It's not about statistics. I know the statistics. I've watched all these videos. I've watched all that stuff. It has nothing to do with that. It's just a reflex. And so, I mean, people have a fear of spiders. People have fear of elevators, whatever. But anyway, you overcome it. So. Let me see if I can get Richard to sit down here for just a second. And he's working, but at least get him to drop in and say hello. Hey, Richard, got a minute? He's about to do another tour. Check this guy out. This guy's looking very, very dapper.
Look, we need you with the what do you call that combination of modern technology and old
steampunk?
Steampunk. It's the most steampunk outfit I've ever seen.
He's looking super dapper. He's got the vest on, got the shirt on, got the hat on.
Got to get ready because I was told my friend Erik Wait was coming.
There you go. Well,
so
thank
I
you
had
very
to
much.
get dressed up.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So he's doing tours. People come by and he's giving a tour around the facility. So, yeah, good to see you. I know you're working.
Every hour on the hour.
There you go.
I think this is probably the last one for the day.
So if everything goes well in 22 in terms of work and whatever else, hopefully we'll do the Something class in 22.
That's
We'll
my
have to see how it
intention.
goes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we're going to do it with you.
So if you guys are ever visit the Crowded Barrel, you got to make sure you see Richard. And your dog Elsa's not here today, or she's here sometimes.
It's too long for her on a day like today. I'm going to be here for a good 10, 11 hours. So,
Whoa.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then tomorrow and then the next day for sure.
Yeah, it's busy time of the year. People coming into town here. So anyhow, good to see you, man.
Good to see you too. Yeah.
So check. I don't want to be ignoring you. Christopher Malloy, thanks for tuning in. Cameron Lochner, thanks for tuning in. I have a bit of a glare on my screen, so I'm kind of leaning so I can actually read it. So, super happy to be here. Now, there are a few people who were originally scheduled to be here. Unfortunately, they're not going to be here. Bill, Whiskey Dictionary, is not making it. I know some of the Canadians were going to come down. Mark was going to come down. The Scotch 4 Dummies, or 3 of the 4 Scotch 4 Dummies will be here, but they don't arrive till tomorrow. And unfortunately, Roy, if you were watching Roy's live stream last night, hey, Phil, Whiskey Mystery is here in the chat. Pete Head, thanks for tuning in. Unfortunately, Roy's not going to be here. My heart's broken. Really sad, but he's here with us in spirit. His presence will be missed. So I'm fairly certain that Richard is the one who comes up with the recipes for the alternative cocktails, because they can only use spirits that are actually produced here. You have to get a little imaginative in terms of if you're trying to make a particular type of cocktail to find something else that will fit in there. Got a couple cherries. I got Ed, Amira, and KillCo sitting over there. I'm gonna see if I can get them to come in. Ed, you son of a bitch! You are gonna come over here. Okay.
I'm so right. It's so
yeah, and I'm sorry. I will move over this way. Then you can move over this way.
Yes.
So we'll hang out back here.
Yeah.
So you've been here to Texas before, to the Crowded Barrel before?
2019. Yeah, I couldn't get to the one basketball there because of money, but was able to actually take the trip, just come down here, visited 7 distilleries in 2 days.
Whoa.
My mother drove because I did not. And yeah, we came here on Saturday, whatever day it was.
Can you guys hear him all right? I know it's a little noisy in the back. No. What? I have a big boisterful voice.
I mumble like crazy.
He
It's
mumbles,
fine.
so we're fine.
I am a mumbler. It's even better with Matt's.
There we go.
No one can understand a word. It's fine.
So what distilleries you go check out?
When I was here in 2019, I visited as many as I could, like anything within the range. So it was still Austin, I think. And
Still Austin.
This isn't in order by any means. Andalusia, which is wonderful.
Andalusia.
I would say definitely hit that up if you're here. It's a wonderful place. My Lemon Green.
My Lemon Green.
I was across from it.
Oh, there's that brewery
The
across
brewery
the street.
/ distillery, but I forgot.
It's a brewery. The brewery is the big, huge facility, and then they have this little tiny
You get
distillery.
there and you're like, well, this looks like a brewery.
Yeah, and they have a little tiny distillery that could fit inside my closet
Yes, you have to ask.
in the back.
You have to ask. Like, you got whiskey here, right?
Real Spirits. I think is it real
Yeah,
Spirits?
real ale spirits.
Real ale spirits. Yeah, real ale spirits. Pretty cool place. I got a nice tour of the place with the manager.
Big.
That's huge. Freaking huge. Freaking huge. So actually, Ty Phelps with Andalusia started there.
I got to meet him when I was there.
Huh?
He was there.
Oh, okay.
I got a picture and everything.
And then he started Andalusia.
Did he?
So where else have you been to? Have you been in any other places in there?
There are. I'm blanking out on what they all are because it's been 2 years.
Okay.
But I did visit 7. There were a couple that were out there. Oh, Trio, Garrison Brothers.
And Garrison Brothers.
Not keeping track.
Okay.
That sounds like it's
pretty
almost
close.
7.
So did you come out here today?
What? Oh, get here? Like, right?
Get here today?
We got here yesterday afternoon.
Okay.
And I basically stayed up all night Wednesday. Made 2 videos because I knew I wasn't going to be able to do anything.
Right.
Like Wednesday and Thursday. I'm doing like a pizza thing.
Okay.
But I wasn't going to do a stream today. Till now. And what? Yeah, it was a crazy flight. Like the first flight over, I was just talking about it. There was a medical emergency. So they had to do the actual, get on the comms since there a doctor and nurse on board.
Someone else?
Someone else. Not me, but
okay.
someone else got in trouble. And they were fine.
Okay.
But that was, stressful. Quick flight, an hour. And then we drove, it was like 4 hours or 3 hours something to get from Maryland to Austin. And we landed at about 5:30-ish.
Okay.
Then we had to get our car. Thinking it's going to be some tiny little thing. My mom's driving the car. And they're like, all right, how about that black Ford Mustang over there?
Oh, there you go.
So now my older mother is just driving around a Ford Mustang in Austin, Texas.
So this is your first time to come out here actually for the actual the basketball.
The basketball is the first time. I've been wanting to go since the first one, probably.
Right.
I remember watching it fly in the wall style.
Right. And last year they didn't have it.
Nope. Well, they had it, but they didn't have it.
Because of it, yeah.
It was digital.
So, whatever.
That was fine. It's better than nothing. But, yeah, first time officially being here for the basketball.
Cool.
Enjoy it.
I'm glad you could make it, man.
Yeah, I'm glad you're doing this. This is kind of a little through the grapevine thing. I was like, well, they're free drinks.
So just to let you know, this was planned in terms of this was planned in advance. I did not impose. I'm not one to impose. Hey, I'm bringing my shit. So I'm going live. I'm doing what I. No. I cleared this ahead of time. Made sure it was okay.
So much
I'm not a mooch, and I don't like to impose.
I'm a mooch. Give me a whiskey.
Anyway, if you want something, go get something. Just put on there.
I've been trying to wait for the line to die down. I just picked up my bottle. Where'd I go? He ran away. Oh, there you go. You want me to get him?
Who? Ed? Oh, he'll make it way over here.
This is lovely. It's so nice to see so many familiar faces. It feels so weird. I know you all, but I don't.
That is, that's kind of the same. You know each other through video, and you feel like you know each other, and yet you've never actually met.
Yeah, I was.
And when you first meet, it doesn't feel like that much different. Especially when especially if you go to the other side of the planet and you go to Scotland. And first time I met Roy, and I met him in the airport. It was Aquavite. It was very much like that. It was just like someone I'd been hanging out for years, and we didn't.
This is really weird digital familiarity that we haven't really processed
properly.
Right. But even with Ed and there's Irene's gonna be here tomorrow. Irene Tan, who does whiskey picks and stuff. She had a video with Irene Tan, yeah. Irene Tanner? Tan.
I don't think I know her.
You don't. But they did a video. You can look it up later.
She's the one who owns a store.
Yeah,
she just got over this big legal dispute with a former partner for the business.
Probably. I didn't ask her about it.
Well, she mentioned it in Facebook.
Yeah, they split. I know that.
Okay.
But I didn't know all the details.
So Irene Tan, she has her own shop, and I wish other shops will run the same way, which basically is she does. You can sample them. If you want to try something, you can sample something. You can pour something. So you can try before you buy. And that's not something you see. And maybe some states it's not necessarily legal. I don't know.
If you try, you will buy.
But that's the thing is it really does move sales because people go, oh, I like that. I want to buy that. So it does improve sales. But she also went through the Psalm School here. And Daniel and Rex did an on location.
That's how I met Daniel and Rex for the first time.
Oh, okay.
We're going to this place in Connecticut, landing in Rhode Island, and my brain just exploded.
Okay.
What are the odds that these two gentlemen who I've watched for years are going to end up in Rhode Island? Which it was fun. It's nice to meet them in that fashion rather than coming here and being overwhelmed by all this stuff going on.
So she's supposed to be here this weekend? Oh, potentially.
But yes. I'm saying it on the internet, so it's true. But I was told she's probably going to be here. No guarantees.
Steve A says, Erik Wait Whiskey Studies and KillCo Whiskey Musings. There you go. Mark Slinger says I felt the same way when we met at Glenmorey Cafe, where they have whiskey ice cream.
I'm actually waiting for my mom to get back. She was hungry, so she went to grab pizzas. Yeah, pizza at least.
Well, I stopped at there's a Chick-fil-A like 10 minutes from here.
Yeah,
So I hit Chick-fil-A
it's
real
like
quick.
that, or what's down the road if you want to get like barbecue salt. Like,
Yeah, the Salt Lake.
some
This
people
is
then
one
like
of
it's
those in the
great. Some
airport as
people
well.
like, yeah, that one down the road. The pet they have. Glorious.
She bring anything back from this trip? You think you're gonna pick up anything back?
I got my bottles just now. I just sitting on the thing right there.
Oh, from here?
Yeah, I got.
So this is a super sweet, super easy to sip, and guzzle. So it's quite tasty, but could get the new fashion. So it could be quite dangerous, but it's really, really, really good. Okay, Royal Bastard, whiskey, 1.6. I can't read their handwriting. 111 proof, 37.5% alcohol by volume, 3.75. 57.3% alcohol by volume. What? Oh, proof. That confused me. 13 years old. Oh, what is this?
It's not a Scotch, but it is.
Oh. So this is one where they bought
Teaspoon. Thank you.
Hey, Daniel. Sorry. I don't want to interrupt him. I'm an attention grabber. No, he's talking to somebody. So if someone knows the facts on this one, so is this basically a Scotch in spirit and then aged here or something? What is this?
It's Royal Broccoli.
Okay, Royal Block, and you guys call it Royal Bastard. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
It was 14. It's actually 14 years old. It was or 15. It was 14 in 340 something days.
Okay.
So it's almost 15 years old.
So what's the story behind it? You guys,
we were supposed to get 2 barrels of it. This is why we got the Aaron.
Oh.
Okay. The Island Malt. That's totally not Aaron.
Okay.
We bought 2 barrels, and when they got here, one of the barrels was empty.
That's right.
and they dumped it. When they got here,
it was bust.
We had 2 empty barrels because we wanted the barrels too, and a tote, and the tote was the equivalent of 1 barrel.
Oh, okay.
And I called the people who had arranged it for us, who shall not be named.
Right.
But who used to have a business and then got arrested and their business went out of business.
Oh, yeah.
And they were like, sometimes, there's low barrels. I'm like, no, not for $10,000.
I'm going to call my Uncle Guido and have him come talk to
me. And he was like, well, I can get you a new make spirit and we'll just send that to you. And I was like, all right, then I want a tote. And that's how we got a tote of Island New Make. So we ended up with roughly 40 gallons of 15-year-old teaspooned Royal, and it was teaspooned with Kregeliki, according to little.
So
did
you age it here, or did you go straight to bottle?
It sat here for a little while, but only long enough for us to bottle it.
Okay, interesting.
Because it was in a tote. It didn't come in barrels. It came in a tote.
Right, but couldn't you go from there into a barrel?
We could have if we wanted to re-barrel it, but it was so good I didn't want to.
Right.
I loved that. That's as good or better than any of the numbered, typical Broccoli releases. Yeah.
All right, so I have to pick up one of these too.
They're sold out.
Are they?
Yeah.
That was the people.
Well, thank you very much.
That was the people who funded buying the new still.
Oh, okay, cool.
We put the price on that to buy the new still.
And then he's got a.
Do I hear 100, 120,
1,000. That's what it's sold. There you go. And he's got a.
The thing you gave us is still
one from Balcones.
I don't know. I looked for it.
Oh, we moved it.
Yeah, I got moved somewhere.
Yeah, it was there until about 2 weeks ago when we swapped that bottle for the word cloud.
Yeah, I got the word.
Yeah.
Single malt of magnificence.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's kind of cool.
So many stickers.
Do you know the story behind that one?
It's what they've been working on forever. It's their actual first release.
Oh, the first release of a malt that they did here.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. 106 proof, 54% ABV. I can actually read this one. Wow, that's cool. That's cool. Cool looking little bottle. I think there was a video on the Tribe video where they were bottling it.
Yes.
A bottling video.
It's good stuff.
Cool.
I had a sample of it up at Irene's place, Cliff. over there. He brought one. Cliff travels all over the place, and he knows Matt from Whiskey Crusaders. Got him some stuff. I know a guy.
Can you guys hear him?
I talk like I'm rude, but for the most part, I mumble like hell. But I think they said it was okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'm never sure what picks up. So I did bring this. We're not using the mic off the laptop. I brought a full-on, Blues Yeti mic, because I want to make sure we get good sound on it. They're about, I think, $120 or something like that. A lot of people get silver ones, but they really show up.
Yeah.
I'd rather have something black that kind of hides. And you can put a bottle in front of it, and I put a bottle here in front of it, and no one knows the mic is here.
Oh God, yeah.
So
Bourbon Bytes just showed up. Party's crashed.
Oh, he's been there for a while. I think Cliff is supposed to be in town. Hey, Bill, how you doing, man?
I'm looking at him. He's right there. He just showed up.
Where? Oh, there he is. Sorry.
I don't see anything. He's right there. Literally right there.
My eyes are fine. I've only had a little bit. I'm fine.
Should I tell him to come on? Like first thing.
Cliff, I'm buying.
I'm gonna get.
I'm buying. Just tell him. This one's on Eric.
Oh, you're always live, yeah.
Yes. No, I'm not. I'm just saying I'm buying. So if you want to drink, I'm buying. I'm buying. I got I'm buying drinks, not whole bottles.
Damn it! I should have thought of that. I already got two. Oh, how was your trip, man? Was it good? Was it like California to here?
Yeah, well, in order to make, I don't want to talk about that. People like that bore people, but I had to get up at 4 a.m. in order to make the airport in time. Other than that, it was fine. I don't sleep well on planes or anything like that, but other than that,
what I did is I just stayed up all night on Wednesday, and then I was unconscious because I had no choice. It's great.
No, I probably right after the Scotch for Dummies, after they finished going live, I probably went to bed after that. So I got a decent sleep.
I'm still a little tired. Not as bad as I thought. We should be forced on camera.
Huh?
I have a mustache. Who else do you want to get? We just want to reel in.
I know some of these people can't be camera shy because they got their own channel.
Right? I got a channel, but I'm not camera shy.
But they probably want to go over and jibber jabber. But anyway.
Ed is much taller in person, by the way. Ed is much taller in person.
Yes, he's very tall.
He's very tall.
He's very tall.
I can harass him for you.
Right. Eric's streaming. Streaming.
Oh, streaming. Not streaking.
Yeah.
No, that's Sunday night. Sunday night is Sunday night is streaking.
That'd be great.
Actually, I do have a reputation of live streaming without my pants on.
Yeah.
So,
Wait, you're supposed to wear pants? I didn't know that.
Hey, if the camera's here,
I know.
There you go.
You don't have to wear anything. No one would know. It's a secret. That's so popular.
Bill was here a minute ago. Bill is a friend of Aquavite's.
Oh, really?
He was, yeah.
That's so bad.
They met in San Diego. He was sitting over there.
He went on tour. The tour's wrapping up now. I don't know if he went on it. They're doing the distillery tour. Like, see him over there.
Oh, okay.
I went on it when I got
Okay.
here. I got here early at 3. Went real quiet. And we was like 4 people. Now it's 6. Take the tour if you're here, people. It's lovely. It's lovely to see so much that I've, been involved with, from a distance. From a distance.
Oh, please. We need Bette Midler in here. Alrighty, so Robert Williams and Eric. I'm at Granite Bay, California, and now in Bandera, Texas. Love your channel. Thank you very much. Yeah, although if you're referring to me, you got to spell Eric with a K.
It's true.
Ed's being shy. I'm trying to get Ed to come on over. You want to come on? In a minute.
I want to be blinded by the sun. I mean, I'll happily sit here, but I'm not the popular kid in town.
Oh, please.
It's funny because it's true. But I'm definitely glad to be here. It's nice to be recognized.
Good to have you.
I feel appreciated. I feel seen. That also is not the best feeling.
We got to keep these people entertained. And I'd like to get on as many people as we can.
I mean,
So what's in the glass?
moment in
This
history.
is their version of an old fashioned. They call it a new fashion, which is it says whiskey. I'm assuming it's Eleanor that they use. I don't know. Agave bitters, and rainwater.
Good.
What do they mean by rainwater?
They with the when they make the whiskey here, they use a lot of the rainwater to.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they get it from the sky and they
And hopefully they filter
They
it.
filter it. Yeah, if you
Hopefully
went on
they
the
filter
tour, you would know they filter it.
Okay.
Yeah, they show you all
Interesting.
of it.
Well, Texas
Some of
rainwater.
their people in the area got a little miffed by that because apparently you can't own the sky water for some reason. So
You can't own the sky water?
yes, Daniel or right. So Daniel would know. It's a thing. It was a thing. It's fine. They got it. It's fine.
Okay. What?
I don't make laws. I don't want to deal with it at all. This is some random stuff I've heard through the grapevine and watching videos. Legal stuff, doesn't have to make sense.
So tomorrow we're going to Andalusia. You going to be a part of that?
No, I was. I'm gonna go. I wasn't invited, but
Okay.
I'm going to. There's something going on. There's a couple things going on, but I do have stuff going on tomorrow. Andalusia for me is going to probably be on Monday. I think they're the only ones of the distilleries that are open on Monday. Everywhere else, I look.
Oh, that's right. They got these weird ass Texas laws where you can't buy stuff on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm gonna I'd like to hit Milan and Green tomorrow.
That's why I'm getting these now.
And pick up a bottle for an associate of mine. Now, I don't think he's watching, but I know he's subscribed. Get him a bottle.
Watch the film.
He's too cool.
He's a young buck. He doesn't need to talk to us older people. I'm also keeping an eye out for my mom. That's why I keep looking at her.
Where's she at?
She's getting pizza, I think. I haven't seen her show up yet. I'm making sure she made it back. She's my ride and also a mother. So I worry.
So on Monday, I did a review. Have you had the Jameson Black Barrel?
Yes, I think so.
So I recorded a review of it. It'll post on Monday. Really, really, really nice. About $32. I'm calling it a must-buy whiskey. So if you haven't had the Jameson Black Barrel, pretty easy to find. It's only 40 ABV, but still delivers a lot of flavor. Check out my review. It'll come out on Monday. So what do you got going on these days on your channel?
Well, it's a long story. I did. I kind of got locked into something. It's not going to make any sense to anyone here. But there's this thing called Pizza Miss. It's part of another whiskey channel on YouTube called the Vlog Brothers, VLOG Brothers.
Okay.
And they've been doing stuff for 10 years since YouTube started. And they do charity events. And they do this weird-ass event once a year around this time. They call it
Pizza Miss?
Pizza Miss. Don't worry, it's not supposed to make sense. The shirt they have is of someone's face with a weird mustache. It's one of the brothers who do the thing. And it just says pizza. It's ridiculous, but all the money for the shirts, all the money they get for that time goes to a charity, Partners in Health. Okay. So it's a big old event they do, and they raise a lot of money for it, which is cool. That's what I've been doing, kind of.
I was hoping Roy would jump in. I could grab Bill and have that Bill. Hey, Bill. So we have the official ambassador representative of Aquavite.
So nice to meet you, sir.
What are you doing?
So this is Bill. I was hoping Roy would tune in, but
I think he's
it's probably,
drowning his sorrow.
Well, and it's probably it's about 3:15 in the morning over there in Glasgow at the moment. So in case you don't know, this is a good friend of Bill's, a whiskey friend. Thank you much for tuning in. Get me a bottle of anything you can't get on a Sunday. Everything here you can't get on a Sunday.
This is Scotland representing here, right? This is Greggor. If you want to hear a Scottish accent,
a Scottish accent that you can understand because I'm from the East Coast. Eric, nice to meet you.
There you go. Hey, nice to meet you. I got an empty glass. We gotta get it. We gotta fix that.
What is it?
Well, this was a new fashioned.
I'll be the runner. What do you want?
Hey, Eric.
Yes.
Which batch is that?
you're missing something.
This is batch 3. Hi, how you doing? Sarah's here from the Whiskey Crusaders. Her hair's changed again. Hey, you doing well? I did, man. So I'm buying. So help yourself. Just tell them put on Eric's tab. I got a $5,000 limit.
Once we hit there,
Once we get there,
that's a target.
That's a
not
target.
Where'd that come from?
That's a target. So anyway, so how did you and Roy meet up then down in San Diego, or did you meet through business, or?
So we worked together in the UK in a town called Bytes outside of near Bath,
Okay.
in England. in 1991 for a year together. We were both expats, him being Scottish, me being American, and unattached. And so we just became good friends there, and have stayed in touch. He came over to California.
How long ago was that?
And he came over to California in 2000 and actually 2001 and proposed to his future wife in a hot air balloon over Temecula vineyards. And so I was curious about you working in Temecula. I think that was a really
the funny thing is, if he was there in 2000, I lived in Ramona at the time, which 45 minutes away, an hour maybe, but basically San Diego area.
Yeah.
It's funny. So I was living down the same time he was.
That's pretty funny.
And long story short, went to a restaurant, couldn't read the wine menu. I was like, I should learn something about wine. A friend of mine took me out to the wine country. We went to Temecula. We went to Callaway, which is one of the bigger ones there. We went to Hart, which is next door. And we went to the one that does sparkling wines across the street.
It was Thornton at the time. It's changed names now.
Oh, okay. And so eventually I started hitting wineries on the weekends. And there was one up in the mountains in Willow Springs called Shadow Mountain Vineyards. Alex McGarry is the owner. I don't know if he's still around.
I think they moved into Temecula more
okay.
too, I think. I'm not sure. There's like 50 wineries there now. So.
And Ramona has them now too. Anyway, so one day I took this same friend of mine, took him out for his birthday dinner, whatever. And we were there at the winery tasting, and I happened to say to the owner, I'd like to get some hands-on experience working in a winery. And he goes, well, we're doing a harvest on Tuesday. And so a few days later, I was out there in the vineyard.
Take your shoes off. You're stomping.
No. We were harvesting grapes, and then I happened to do a press, do a crush, and all that, and that kind of rolled it from there. Years down the road, ended up going back to college and studying winemaking. But it started in Temecula, and then continued on.
So that's the beginning of the journey. That alcohol journey just led you all the way to here tonight.
Yeah, 20 years. Well, 16 years later, got into whiskey while studying for the Wines for Educational Trust diploma. One of the units was on spirits, and that's what got me into whiskey.
Huh. Well, it's been really interesting.
Let me get what you Libation's important.
Yeah, I know.
Lubrication's
I'm going to get a little bit dry here. I kind of want to try something different, but then I really like that one.
Too late now. Walk away.
See if they can do a
Black Porch
Manhattan. See if they can make a. I don't want a Manhattan. I want another.
That's when you embrace.
You want a single malt? Once you've had one single malt.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to go.
Well, let me try it.
It's hard to go to double.
Let me try a Black Porch tea.
A Black Porch tea.
Black Porch tea, and then give Bill whatever he wants. Get you whatever you want.
Okay. All right.
Then we'll get back.
So for me, it's been being friends with Roy, and I knew him when we weren't drinking whiskey at all. We were drinking lagers in the pubs, and then going over to see him around late 2000s, and all of a sudden he's like, hey, you need to try some of these whiskeys and scotches, and which we did, and really enjoyed. But it's long before he was on YouTube. But then so my introduction to whiskey is really through him. But through him, I found you, right? And it's been really, to me, interesting to watch your journey too, right? Where you have just jumped into this with both feet, and coming down here and going to class here for a week and doing the whiskey trail, and I don't know how
going to 40 distilleries in Scotland.
Yeah, how long you spent in Scotland? It's like it's phenomenal. I don't know how you do it, and how
no wife, no kids.
Yeah, it's really been amazing to watch that, and then I don't know if you remember or not, but speaking of like Temecula, coincidence, you might have been there when Roy was there. But what's the oldest whiskey bar in London?
Oh, it's Milroy's.
Milroy's, yeah. So my son's in Milroy's, giving me a selfie of hey Dad, I went to Milroy's like you suggested, and there in the background is you getting ready to go see Roy the next day up in Glasgow. So it's a really small world, I think. Right?
So unfortunately, there's Eddie. So Soho district, if you're not familiar with the area in London, you're within walking distance of the Whiskey Exchange and the park there with the castle, not the castle, Buckingham Palace and all that. Anyway, so there was a gentleman named Eddie there. I got introduced to that place by Jason Whiskey Wise. He gave me a tour of the London area, a walking tour, and then we went and hung out there. Really, 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 really cool place. They have sort of the speakeasy down below and all that stuff. And Eddie, the guy who was running it before, unfortunately, he's not there anymore. I think he was from Portugal. He's gone back to Portugal, so he's not there anymore.
So my next trip to Scotland, hopefully I go next year. I'll probably skip London. I'll just go straight to Glasgow and kick off my third.
Where
third
haven't you
trip
gone
there.
that you want to go?
Well, geographically, I haven't been in the northwestern corner, the islands. I haven't been up in that area. Distilleries are a little bit more sparse and spread out. However, for academic reasons, I kind of feel like I should spend 2 weeks just in Speyside. And even if I can't go inside, go to the distilleries that I haven't been to, like Bladnoch. You're not going to see Bladnoch here. Bladnoch is down in the lowlands. Anyway, just go to distilleries that
Like that one that Roy and Sebby were just at. Like it's kind of seemed like a really long journey for them to go to. What's that? I don't know the Talabard. No, it's up in the northwest.
But anyway,
Okay.
so I like to go back there and visit as many distilleries, more for academic reasons to become more acquainted with the producers, their history, and the whiskeys. For me, in studying is it's one thing to read out of a book or even to taste out of a glass or a bottle, but if you can actually be there, you have a sense of place. So you have these greater connections in your brain. It's like if you hear a song and that was a song that was maybe heard in a movie or a high school girlfriend, that connection with that song is much more memorable and deep because you have a particular memory tied to it. So to actually go and travel through the wine countries in California, and I've been in every wine country in California, I've traveled all over visiting wineries. In my head, I can go there. It's like a Google Earth kind of a thing where I can drive around the road. And so in visiting distilleries, it's not just, it's a lot of the tours are very similar. So you get a lot of repeat there, but it's more about in terms of having a perception of place than when you're there. And
So are you journaling or anything like that? You're going to write a book at some point, or
I have this. I have a
have you written a book? Maybe?
I have a YouTube channel. Yeah,
I know that part. Yeah, but of course,
I created videos from every distillery I went to.
I understand that. I understand.
No, but I'm not. No.
But you can't. You can't. By the way, Milroy's is in London, right? So everything's expensive in London, just for whatever. Whoever, I just saw somebody complain about their prices, and maybe they are expensive, but from what I understand,
it's a cool place to hang out.
The selection's phenomenal.
The thing is, when everything's in pounds and you only know US dollars, then it doesn't sound expensive because it's in pounds. And 35 pounds, 45 pounds, well, that's nothing. But then you get home and you start doing the conversion rate of how much it costs. You go, oh, that's how much
your credit card company does that for you, right?
Yeah. In fact, I actually get a special credit card, which you don't pay the transaction fees.
So how long have you been here?
I landed around 1:30 and then went to my hotel, took a shower, put on the uniform, and then grabbed a bite to eat, and then it came over.
Yeah, well, I know Roy wishes he was in this chair with you right now.
I know.
You've shared a number of drams with him, and you've been in his house.
Well, so we celebrated in 2019. We celebrated my birthday together. We went down to my brain just went blank. It begins with an A. It's a revived distillery in the lowlands. My brain's going blank. And then we went into Glasgow. We hung out at a pub. We had many drinks. We had some birthday cake. God, I can't believe I can't remember the name of the place. Someone will put it in there and that'll remind me of the name of it. It begins with A. Annandale. I remembered on my own without any help.
You guys got to keep him honest.
Yeah,
right?
we went to Annandale. And we actually ran into the owner there. I was wearing a Whiskey Tribe shirt, and I went in to get a cup of coffee in a little cafe they had there, and we were just getting ready to leave. I wanted some coffee, and so he walks up and goes, "Oh, I like your shirt and stuff." I started talking to him. It turns out the guy was the owner. So I said, "Oh, you need to meet my friend Roy." So I introduced him to Roy. We hung out for another, half an hour and stuff. And Roy was grilling him pretty hard.
There you go. You're
about
Fernando.
Yeah, it's Annandale. I already got it. I got it.
Yeah. So I mean, Roy's so personable too, right?
Yeah.
Makes it really easy to chat with. It's always great when you can meet an owner too. I was in I have a house in Sun River near Bend, and we were
Oregon?
Bend, Oregon. And so
not everyone knows Bend's Oregon. So
Bend, Oregon. Sorry, and so the Oregon Spirits Distillery is there.
Oh, okay.
And so, a buddy of mine and I were in there. They have we actually did a gin flight that they had, which was kind of fun, and a whiskey flight. And so then the owner came out and said, I noticed you guys were really picking this stuff apart. And so then he ended up giving us a full tour of it,
nice.
and Yeah, really interesting. Great place if you ever get up to Bend. A lot of breweries up there if you like beer too, by the way.
I'm not a beer guy, but I've been to a lot of wineries up there. I've been all over Oregon. Great Pinot Noir up there in the Willamette Valley.
Not a beer guy. That could be your next, not your next journey, but like a
I
side.
have enough.
A side
I've
trip.
actually so I live on a golf course, and I'm not going to take up golf because if I get into it, if I don't do anything halfway, I do 110%.
Yeah, that clearly.
Yeah, and so if I got into golf, my Erik Wait golfing channel, you would never see me doing whiskey anymore unless I'm drinking out on the golf course like in Caddyshack. But yeah, I have enough obsessions. I only have so much time. If I got into beer, if I had to give up whiskey, I really like coffee. I could really go geeky on coffee if I wanted to. But I purposely keep my limitations.
You got to stay focused, right?
Yeah,
at least until you exhaust.
Stay focused.
Whiskey.
So I've been to every distillery and I've had every whiskey.
Yeah. You got. So when are you going to take on Japan or something like that? Or
so it's funny you should say that. There is a Japanese whiskey channel. Roy had him on the channel. Kanpai. What's Kanpai?
Kanpai is is like the cheers.
That's the name of his channel. Kanpai.
Yeah.
Kanpai Panda. No, not Kanpai Panda. Kanpai. No, I can't remember the last rest. Someone else will mention there. Anyway, his Kanpai Planet. I think it's Kanpai Planet. His channel is killer. So he's in Japan. He doesn't do just Japanese whiskey, but he does everything Japanese beverages and so forth. But his editing, the visual, the audio, everything, it's just really spot on, real high quality. If you're familiar with First Fill Whiskey in New Zealand, the quality of his videos, I would say Kanpai Planet for Japanese whiskey is the quality of the videos very, very similar, much better than mine. Very, very, very similar. So eventually I need to do Canada. I need to do Japan.
So you don't know, but when Roy and I were working together in England, we were working for a Japanese company.
Oh.
And I worked for this Japanese company for 20 years. He probably worked for them for 6
Wasn't someone supposed to get me another drink?
Greggor's going to get it.
Okay.
I think he drank a line in there.
I think he got lost and now he's drinking it.
And so anyhow, so we have a lot of friends in Japan probably. Okay. So you got to drag Roy along at least.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's got a wife and kids now.
Yeah,
they're important.
They should be important. I think he
great kids, twin girls and a little boy.
Yep.
His name's Jacob. What's his name? Jacob?
Huh?
James. Well, so James and Jacob is the same name, by the way. James is just a Northern European version of Jacob.
Service.
Thank you. And this is, there you go. This is, again, the
back porch tea.
Back. Oh, not black porch.
No, back.
Which is whiskey, black tea syrup, lemon juice, and
thank you.
I cannot stir it.
Did you get another one too?
Yeah.
You should just buy a bottle.
I know.
So I'm going to scoot over a little bit. Ooh.
All right. I'll switch places with Greggor. So you get that Scottish bro going on.
There you go.
I'm not in uniform.
He knows more about Scotch than I do.
Wait,
I'm not in uniform.
Not wearing a Crowded Barrel or Aqua Vitae shirt?
We were going.
I got one for you, by the way, if you want to wear it.
I brought some, but we're going to the off license, and then Bill changed his mind and said, "No, we're going to the Crowded Barrel."
Oh, cool. So, what are you drinking? There's that one.
I'm finishing one single malt off. She's nearly done.
Oh, okay.
And then I'll move on to the second.
Okay. Oh, so both single malts?
Yeah,
there?
single moms.
Oh, okay.
I had the wheated bourbon.
Single moms?
Single mom. Neat.
Single mom?
Yeah.
M-O-M?
M-O-M. Malt of Magnificence.
Oh, okay. Okay, there you go. So have you been out here before?
I've not. It's my first time to Texas.
So introduce yourself to everybody here.
Hello, internets. Hello.
Tell them your name. They're not going to know who you
are. Hi. It's. I'm getting multi-camera. We're in the Matrix. It's awkward. It's a video and we're stalling.
All right.
I'm Greggor. Otherwise,
this is Greggor.
I'm Greggor, otherwise known as Time for a Dram.
Oh, there you go. Time for a Dram.
Time for a Dram is my internet. What do we call them? Avatars? I don't know. What do we call them? You're Erik.
Okay.
Wait,
so in the chat, your name will come up as. So typically when you're in the chat, it'll say
Time for a Dram.
Time for a Dram.
In brackets.
Greggor. Nice roll they are there.
Greggor. That's me.
You know what I did? So I've been a Rush fan all my life. You know the band?
Yes. I've heard of them.
Yes. and Geddy Lee's bass player, lead vocalist, does keyboards. And I thought Geddy, that's an interesting name, I just watched an interview with Geddy Lee. It turns out his name isn't Geddy; it's Gary.
It's just
But
an
his,
accent.
but his mother would roll the. His mother rolled the. They're from Poland. They're Polish Jews. And they fled because of the Holocaust. But she rolled her R's,
Right.
Getty,
Uh-huh.
Gary, Getty.
Getty.
And so
Getty.
all his friends
Getty.
would hear that and made fun of him. And so it just stuck. And he became Getty. And I think his name is now legally Getty.
Yeah.
Over from Gary.
Well, it's interesting. That's how my
That's why I'm Edic.
Eric.
I'm Eric.
Eric. I mean, that's how my name was derived. So my surname's McWee.
Okay.
It's also why I have a good sense of humour.
Okay.
Growing up, Wee is your
Nice.
is your name, but that derived from my
No, originally my last name was Urine.
It's classic. Americans have to make a new name for something we had a name for already. But yeah, it derived from McKelvey. So you know,
Okay.
again from accent.
Okay, there you go.
But I'm here representing Aquavite.
Oh, there you go.
I'll be in uniform tomorrow.
There you
Don't
go.
worry.
Aquavite
Don't worry.
shirt.
But yeah, I'm here representing
In
Roy
all of Scotland, right?
with Bill and all of Scotland.
So it's a big responsibility.
All 6 million of us.
And geographically, where you live?
I'm in the Pacific Northwest. I'm in Portland, Oregon.
Oh, okay. He's up in the Willamette Valley. Oh,
Yes.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Pinot Noir country.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have. So I've been to like the Dundee Hills.
I need to speak to you about giving me some proper full-bodied Pinot Noir, if that's not an oxymoron,
Oh, yeah,
recommendations, because I like big, bold reds, and I
Oh.
can't find them in Oregon.
So Pinot Noir by nature is low in tannin, high in acidity. In Oregon, you're going to get an earthy character. I know I'm going wine. I didn't do
Sorry.
it. He did
We
it.
can put it back on track.
So in Oregon, they can be a little Burgundian and have more earthy character, but also have a fresh fruit character, similar to California.
Right.
So they kind of have that foot in both worlds. But the way the land is up there is they get a lot of fog, which would cause a lot of mold in the lower parts. So they tend to do most of the vineyards in the hills,
Okay,
and
yes.
on the sides of hills
Yes.
to get them up out of the fog lift. But anyway, so yeah, if you're looking more tannic wines, Pinot Noir is not it. But Pinot Noir, you like salmon, you like smoked salmon.
Sure.
That smoked salmon, or grilled salmon with a Pinot Noir, that's like for me the best pairing. I absolutely
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
So
We're here to talk about whiskey, though, right?
yeah. We'll get back on the whiskey. I'm always talking about wine on the channel. People
But
are used to it by
I'm,
now.
I'm happy to be here representing Roy. I was hoping to see him here.
Yeah.
In the inability for me to get home to Scotland, it was going to be a little slice of home coming here.
So where in Scotland are you from?
I'm from Edinburgh
Oh, okay.
or Musselburgh, but depends how granular we're getting.
So like in Edinburgh proper or one of the surrounding areas, or?
Let's say the postcode is EH, which means it's
Oh.
Edinburgh.
Oh, okay. Well, people will say San Diego. Oh, I'm from San
right.
Diego. And you talk to them, well, no, they live in Carlsbad.
What? So
But because people had never heard of Carlsbad or something,
Yeah.
they say San Diego because it's next to San
Right.
Diego.
yeah, if we're getting granular, Musselburgh, which is otherwise known as the Honest Town. We have the oldest race course, and I believe
Horse
racing, or original, I should say, and one of the oldest links golf courses,
Okay.
and some of the best ice cream you'll ever have.
Okay.
So let's
I know
overlap.
some. I know some Italians who would argue with you.
Well, they are Italian. They're Italian
Oh,
Scottish,
okay.
Tirolo and Luca, but yeah. It's great to meet you.
No,
Here,
good.
I have
Good.
to
You
say.
meet you too. So
I don't recognise you without the beard now, though.
well, I had the beard longer than I've had the beard, but I guess people I became associated with.
Where's the
beard.
logic with we're heading into winter and it comes off?
Well, I got a new house. I now live in the Sonoma wine country.
Okay.
Off the
Because you moved up to San Francisco.
Well, no. So I was living in the South Bay, in the Bay Area, Silicon Valley. Moved up closer to Sacramento and Roseville. Liked the house, didn't like the area. Got a new position and got a house right off the Sonoma Wine Trail.
Oh.
So it's like wineries.
Okay.
Beautiful.
So you're still
beautiful
in the
place.
wine
I
industry.
live.
Or do we not?
I've never worked full time in the industry.
Okay.
But there's actually a winery that I've consulted for that's like 15 minutes away.
Okay.
So I'm looking to start another side business
All right.
and did that on the side. So, but it's not
TMI,
what it's
TMI
not, yeah,
for the
I
internet.
know. But the wine country is so beautiful. The vineyards are so beautiful, and now we have the fall colors, so they're all changing colors.
But that's
the leaves,
less than
it's
a
beautiful.
year, right? You've moved.
Yeah,
You've
I
only
moved
just
twice.
unpacked.
I moved twice.
I guarantee there's still boxes packed, right?
In the garage.
Oh.
In the garage. Yeah, but all the whiskey's unpacked.
I was
too.
going to say,
I got the importance of
I'm
it.
sure the whiskey was the first.
So the
thing
house is all
unpacked.
decorated. The books I want unpacked are unpacked. But yeah, there's a shitload of boxes out in the garage.
Cheers, by the way.
I don't know.
Slancher.
Cheers. Thank you.
Slunge about. Cheers to you, Roy. Wish you were here.
Yeah, wish you were here. Here's mud in your eye. That's a biblical reference. I don't know if you know that.
What's that?
Here's mud in your eye.
Yeah.
So I went to seminary down in San Diego. I went to Westminster Theological Seminary in Escondido.
Really?
I got my master's degree there. Then I went to Fuller Seminary. I got my doctorate at Fuller. Most people
That's
don't
right.
know
You
that.
were a minister too, right? Or
Yeah.
it's a bizarre journey.
I know.
Right?
It's a very strange journey.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's
I
awesome.
have a question for you, Eric.
Yes.
We were talking on the way up.
So speaking of Scotland, so that's where Presbyterian. I was Presbyterian.
Yes,
That's where it started with John Knox.
Yes.
Again, we're not going to talk religion.
No.
Or
Politics, religion is all.
Politics. But we
Good
will
society.
talk about ancient alien astronauts because those we believe in.
I believe they're connected to the Oswas,
Oh.
right?
Yes, exactly.
You and Eric.
That's all, it's all
Eric,
part of the conspiracy.
are you Eric Van Daniken?
Yes, Eric Van Daniken. That's right. His name's Eric. So he's spelled with a C.
See, yeah.
Yeah.
This is maybe not a question for Ron. I don't know.
Anyways, but you had a question.
Wine sommelier. We've all seen the document, the Netflix.
Yeah, there's a
documentary.
documentary called Psalm.
All of them, right? And people are picking a wine or nailing a wine right down to the year, not just
In the
the variety.
in the third Psalm movie, and they're blind tasting Pinot Noirs. There's one gentleman there. I think he's English. He nails not only where the wine is from, he nails the vineyard
Right.
out of Australia. So, and it, very, very obscure. He nailed it right on the nose. It's like, holy cow. But anyway, yes.
So that's a truth.
Okay.
That world.
Yeah.
Right. And then we have Roy Duff, Aquavite, who can be stumped with the simplest of blind tasting.
But Master Psalms get stumped too, but yeah.
Well, so I wanted to ask your opinion on how refined a sommelier can you be? I think we've established as a wine sommelier how refined you can be. Where do you think, how refined can we be as a
Okay,
whiskey sommelier?
first of all, you have to recognize, one, a whiskey somm, in terms of identification, can be as on point as a wine sommelier. However, here's the thing. When you are being blind tasted, not every wine that exists in the world can be on a test. They can't give you a Pinot Noir from Idaho.
Right.
Okay, so it's always classic regions, classic grapes, classic styles. Now, what can be on the test when you go from certified to advanced to masters? What can be on the list grows and grows and grows and grows. So if you were to give a similar parallel test for whiskey, it'd have to be a classic Islay, a classic
Right.
Highland, a classic sherry cask, a classic Kentucky bourbon, a classic Japanese whiskey. So giving somebody, for example, I nailed it, but I got blinded on a Scotch whiskey that was aged in Texas and identified it as a Scotch.
Right.
But because of the intensity of the extraction from the cask, that made me go, okay, it's New World. I mean, it's got the spirit character of Scotland, but it's got the cask intensity of a New World. So I said to Daniel, this seems like someone's trying to do a Scotch in the New World. And so it could be, it could be Texas, it could be Tasmania, it could be South Africa, because then you're thinking climate and the way in which the climate has this radical impact on the cask. Okay, now, could you put something like that on a test? No, because it doesn't exist in the real world.
But the fidelity, right? Like if your whiskey somm is a scalpel, right? As much as I've seen the documentaries, I believe them to be scalpel precise.
Yep.
Is a whiskey somm an axe in that metaphor, right? Like,
right. Could you get that precise? I think so, but again,
we should ask Daniel that question because
yeah, sure. So yes, however, like I said before, there are certain things you couldn't put on a test, particularly at a lower level. Now, should you be able to tell the difference between a Highland peated and an Islay peated? And I spent 4 months. I spent like 3 or 4 months doing Highland peated, and the problem is a lot of them use Islay peat.
Okay.
A lot of them they source their peat from Islay, and so there's, in some sense, no difference because you're getting that island character.
Oh yeah, sure.
So that would mean a lot of Highland
The
peated.
criteria has to match.
Yeah. So a lot of Highland peated whiskeys would not be able to be put on exam. they'd be disqualified because they're not considered classic.
Right.
And who would identify what's classic? You would have a board of examiners.
Right.
So this is what a classic Lowland is like. This is what a classic bourbon is
Charlie
like.
McLean.
Yeah, all those guys. And actually, a lot of those people are on the board for the Council of Whiskey Masters. And when you're going to take the exam,
And this is what you.
that's what I'm studying for.
Okay.
Whether I'll ever get there, I don't know.
You'll get there.
We'll
With a
find-
beard. With a
With
beard.
a beard. I have to
you
grow the
can
beard
get
back. Yeah, a flavor saver. So the problem is, I was blonde when I was a kid, so I don't have as many hairs per square inch. So you either like yours shows up even if you only have this much.
Right.
Mine does not.
Okay.
So anyway.
We're talking about squares per inch.
Yes. Yeah. So anyway, so it's you get examined live on the floor,
Okay.
and they're doing it in Inverness, somewhere in Inverness at a castle. There's like 430 castles in Scotland, so
It's poetic that
Could
it's
be
so
anywhere.
close to the mythic home
Yeah.
place of Nessie that we're going to qualify you as a psalm over there.
well, they don't call it a song; they just call it a natural sky.
Right.
So anyway, so that's what I'm shooting for, but I'm not in a hurry. I'm right now. My biggest problem right now, I'm so busy at work that almost kept me from coming here to try to find. I get home, I'm so tired. I'm gonna take a half hour nap, and poof, I'm out for 4 hours.
Right.
And so I'm so tired.
That's old age, Eric.
Yeah, I'm just so damn tired. But I need to eventually things will get a little bit more normal, and I'll be able to fit in my schedule and spend more time studying.
We appreciate all that you share. Obviously.
Oh, I
In the
enjoy it.
spirit of sharing, I do feel like I need to say to the people watching, Eric is a walking mullet right now, in as much as he's business up front and pleasure down below. He's got basketball shorts on right now. he's athleisured down below. I appreciate that, Eric. I don't know if I'm sharing too much for you.
That's
Sorry.
funny. Richard Agnew says, being in Ontario, I'm finding break commandments watching you all maskless and close to each other. We're in Texas, man. I've been vaccinated, circumcised, and had an enema just before I came over here. So we're good.
You were prepared.
Yes, I'm triple prepared. And I shaved. So we're so good. So this is interesting. This is
You've got a back porch tea.
called Batch Porch Tea, and it's kind of like a Long Island tea
Whiskey,
or a
black
Texas tea.
syrup, lemon juice, and Angostura.
So it has a tea character. It has some lemon. It has some nice herbal. Oh, you guys say herbal.
Let's pause on that. Okay, how would you pronounce the name Herbert?
Herbert.
Right. So
Herbert.
why now do you suddenly go herb?
Rather than herb, I don't know. I have the foggiest idea.
There we go. Ding, ding, ding. One to the euro.
I know.
One to the euro.
I don't know.
Herbert. Herbs. They're herbs.
Herbert. Anyway, there was an episode of the original Star Trek where a Herbert was they were like these space hippies, and someone who was a Herbert was like someone who was overly uptight and square.
All right.
So they would call Herbert. That's a very old. I think the episode was called something of Eden, Children of Eden, or something like that. Anyway, I know. Way off topic.
You'll hit far more people if you talk about Star Wars than Star Trek.
Probably. I wish I could move the camera a little bit.
You're good.
Let's move over just 1 inch.
I'll move over.
Just
Well, I have to find 1 inch.
or twice the size of your penis.
Girth or
There we
sorry,
go.
I'm a few drums in. It's a long flight here.
Anyway, I like this. It's could be dangerous because there's no bite. It's sweet,
Right.
but it's got a nice herbal and lemon character there. You could slam this.
You can pick up the herbs.
Yes, the herbs.
Yes.
the herbs.
The herbal impact is there.
The hairball.
The
So
herb-
okay, so when you guys say herbal, but the way you guys pronounce it, it comes across as hairball,
herbal.
which is what a cat coughs up.
Right.
So when you say when something's herbal, you say herbal.
Herbal.
It's not just saying hairball, which is what a cat took. I
Well,
don't
let's
know.
discuss. Are the two worlds the same? I mean, there's notes off of a hairball, I'm sure.
Anyway, it's delicious. So So have you been down here before, or this is your first time?
First time
here?
to Texas.
First time
Quite
to
honestly,
Texas?
did not think I would be in a plane this year.
Yeah,
you know,
because of all that.
Yeah. So I'm excited to be here. First time in Texas. I'm very excited to get some real Texas barbecue.
Oh yeah.
That is a thing that's going to happen.
Yeah.
And my first time here to the Ball of Magnificence.
So this is a better time. So the first time they did this, I think they did this in July.
No Scotsman's coming here in
Yeah,
July.
no,
I can tell you that now.
Now, you have to wear like padded underwear just to absorb the sweat off your balls. So
There's a reason I'm wearing black. I'll tell you that.
and then they had it in September, which is when I was here.
Okay.
And that was probably similar to this in terms of weather. So this is really, really nice. So there was a little humidity, but the winds picked up. It's cooled off. So it's actually quite nice.
This is fine. This is almost at the temperature that is acceptable to wear sports shorts in public, I would say. Or similar.
Well, I was up in the Highlands in July. I remember I was at Old Pulteney Distillery.
It's great up there.
It was 40 degrees and pouring down rain. So in my video of Old Pulteney, I say, "Welcome to fucking Scotland."
Oh. You know, much like in Portland, Oregon, you know, like people talk about how green it is, and then they complain about how wet it is.
Well, you gotta have.
You can't have one without
the
the other. You know, we love Old Pulteney, and you've got to appreciate the climate.
So my first trip to Scotland, when I was was in 2018. When I was on Islay, it was sunny and 73 degrees.
Oh, you did well.
It was sunny. I actually had one day in rain.
False image.
1 day of rain, and people were telling me, "This is not Scotland.
Yeah, right.
Don't expect this next time you come here."
Because I'm sure you were rebooking. You were like, I'm coming back.
Oh yeah. Well, I told people I brought this from California. I brought the weather here, from California.
There's a beach up in the northwest of Scotland on one of the islands, Luskintyre.
Okay.
Stunning. You take a photograph, it looks tropical.
Right.
You dip your toe,
In the water.
things are going back up inside your body. It's that cold. But yeah.
Yeah, I've been to Mackay Bay.
Oh yes.
Yeah. But I went down. Yeah, it was too cold. I was not going in that water. Remember,
Roy
went there. Roy went there. He took his kids there. He told them, "Don't go in the water. Don't go in the water." And they got in the water.
I think Roy forced Bart to roll his trouser legs up and get in.
Oh, okay.
Bart's like, "No, I'm not." He's in there, but he's like, "I'm not for this."
Yeah. It's too damn cold.
Yeah. And this is what? This is your third ball?
So this is.
Pause. Is this your
This
third ball?
No, this is the second. This is the second ball I've been to.
Which one do you want? I'm sorry.
I'm easy.
You pick.
They're empty.
Well, I would say Eric's a magnificent bastard.
This is for you.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
The glass. Thank you.
No, I bought
for
I
him.
just bought a glass.
There you go.
Oh,
I bought one for you. See,
Oh.
I already have one.
Oh, I see. I want to be pointed out as a magnificent bastard.
There you
All
go.
right, that's fine.
So I've been to. So this is the second ball I've been to, but I've been in. I've been to.
You've done
Here,
the
I've been here like a half a dozen times.
you've done the courses through your.
Yeah, so I did the level
Where's
1
your-
course here.
Where's your
That thing
BA
hurts your
thing?
freaking. It hurts.
Well, I heard HR got involved in the upgraded the lanyard.
Yeah, the lanyard part of it. It's really, 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 really heavy. No, I'm good. It's really, really, really heavy. It's really
I'll put
uncomfortable.
this one in your.
But so I.
What
was,
level are
but
you?
I've been to a
What
lot.
level,
No,
Eric?
just a level 1. I will do the level 2 probably next year.
I heard they're giving out level 1s here on attendance. No, I'm joking.
So I'll probably do, if I can get away. The biggest issue is getting away from work. But I'll be here next year. They just did a level 2 class, but I'm just too busy.
And your plan is to be in Scotland next year? To
Yeah, in
finalise
May.
This thing
So
in Inverness?
no. So I won't be ready for the exam in May, but I do want to return there and hang out Speyside to become more familiar with the distilleries and get a sense of the place. I mean, I've been there, but just to focus on Speyside.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And then the following year, 23, take the exam.
Okay.
Take the exam.
I like that you've mapped, there's a plan.
Well, in life, you gotta have goals and things you want to do. If you want to go, some people want to climb Mount Everest. Some people want to do a marathon, do the Ironman. Some people want to, whatever. And so you plant goals, and so that gives you something to shoot for, and then you think long term, and you take incremental steps to get there.
Yeah.
But it's not about the end; it's about the journey of getting there.
That's a tattoo right there.
Yeah. Huh?
That's a tattoo right there.
Yeah. Well, there's a song, "Joy in the Journey." It's called "Joy in the Journey." by Michael Card. But anyway, so that's really what it's all about. It's not about having more pins and shit hanging around your neck.
You have enough, Eric.
Yeah,
Let's be honest.
yeah.
Plus, YouTube won't accept any more logos on your screen as is.
So, and actually, I don't have them all on there. There's more shit that I put on there. But it doesn't, I mean, it gets ridiculous. In fact, the whole point of that big ass medal is to be ridiculous.
Right, I appreciate that.
It's to be ridiculous. It's like if you can act like a snob while you got that thing around your neck, you're a real jackass.
I think we need to ask for them to start working up layers like BEVERAGE, right? Like it's starting to layer on layer on layer.
So you do. There is a little pin. If you watch, there's a pin I have on my collar. And that's the same thing as the medal. It's just like smaller.
Okay, nice.
But, so that thing's sitting in that real, kind of a very rustic looking wooden box that you get with it. They kind of burned into the box the motto of it, and then it's sitting on my shelf.
This is
but I'll never wear
the
that.
WMA or the
No, the
level 1 here.
Yeah, level 1.
Good.
So
meanwhile, the guys are racking up your tab in the bar.
that's okay. That's okay. I got Cliffy sitting over there. Cliff, you got to come join me.
I'm happy to jump out.
You want to come in? Yeah, you got to give yourself a glass.
I'll go.
Then come on over. Come on over.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Eric.
You too.
Well, no, let's embrace
There
the
you
new.
go. There you go.
There was a handshake.
No.
Or the Smithsonian.
No. What is that?
Apparently, ask me about that another time. But what's that called again?
Well, on Mork from Ork, which was probably before you were born.
There's a secret
with,
handshake.
with
but-
Robin Williams did Mork from Ork.
yeah.
But I think that's another symbol for
something else. Yeah,
scissoring.
That might get you strike.
Robert Agnew says, never come across Greggor before. Does he have a YouTube channel?
No. If Eric gets enough up thumbs, I'll start one. How about that?
So I would say. So I've been thinking about doing a video. Which, hey, if you want to become a whiskey tuber, here's 10 steps. 10. Because I learned I made a
How
lot
many
of.
years have you been in now?
6 years. But you learn a lot. The technology has greatly vastly improved. I've learned a
It's
lot.
not Hangouts anymore. StreamYard.
Yeah, there's all kinds of things.
Right.
The technology improved. The platform has improved. There's more of us here, so it's hard to get attention. But it's a lot more work. I mean, I could put in 3 or 4 hours per video. My videos are short to the point.
I'm impressed that you're holding down a legitimate career.
Yeah.
Say legitimate. That sounds wrong.
Yes.
Another career.
I'm not.
And you're
I
feeding-
gave up my stripper job.
Right. Yeah. I mean, COVID hit everybody, Eric.
Right.
It's fair. I understand.
Yeah, the old lady stopped putting 20s in my dollar in my bikini.
I mean, I brought some ones with me. I'll throw them at you if it gives you nostalgia. Where was I going with that? No, but I'm impressed that you've got a career but it feeds in, right? These are not two diametric worlds. Your career and this.
No, they're totally opposite.
Oh, they are. Okay.
Yeah, they're totally.
All right.
So, are you an American citizen, or are you still Scot?
No, I still pledge allegiance to the flag of the Saltire.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Did you swim across the Rio Grande?
What's that? Yeah, right. No.
That's
Again,
a mix.
I don't know which government body is listening, so can I plead the fifth
Yeah, there you go.
on any of that?
There you go. I don't know. Can only Americans plead the fifth?
No,
Yeah.
you give those
Everybody
rights.
Do we?
That's the thing.
My
Everybody
taxes
gets,
here,
everybody
does
gets
that
our
count?
rights, right?
My tax money goes here.
Yeah,
so,
there you go. That's what matters.
Aye.
Well, you're paying a lot more than some people.
Oh, for sure.
Wait, don't start talking politics, guys.
No,
Back off. Go back to the whiskey. You're gonna get in trouble.
Eric, humour me before your friend
yeah.
jumps in. Just curveball you. Top 3 drams. Everything else disappears. These are the 3 drams you're going to take for the rest of your days.
So you gotta have a peated.
Do you?
Yeah, you gotta at least have one peated.
Do you, Roy?
Yes.
Do you, Roy?
Gotta have one peated.
Do you?
Is money an issue?
No.
No.
It is
So
desert island.
I'm probably gonna go. It's a toss up between. The Ugadal or the Corey Vrecken. It's either gonna be Ugadal or Corey Vrecken.
It's number 3.
So I'm gonna go Ugadal. Okay, Ugadal. I'm gonna need a bourbon. I'll probably go to Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. I need a bourbon. Third.
That's a big one now. This is
Yeah.
a small island.
Yeah.
There's not much else going on.
Yeah. Wow. I'm probably.
Of all the things you've tasted, I'm building it up.
See, I'm almost wanting to go Bunnahabhain 12, but I'm thinking I want
Desert Island. It's casks.
I know.
Money's not
Endless,
enough, you can
endless
do it.
casks.
Oh, okay.
Endless casks.
Um,
It's coming off the boat as you wash up on the shore.
I know Robert's watching. An Irish Republic, or something from Balcones, or something from Balcones. Because you'd want to want the variety, so you need a Scotch. You need a bourbon.
Right.
And
Are you saying that because you know Balcones are here over the weekend? Side
That-
note, you're at La Quinta?
Huh?
So I brought Wonderback, batch 5. Wonderback. Come find me though when we do the bottle share.
What's a Wonderback?
We'll talk about that later.
Wonderback.
But Wunderback. But
German coming through.
come get Wunderback. I'm a beer bit. It's a Balcones though. They're partner. So they're come find me though.
Okay.
On the bottle share
Okay.
Saturday night. Balcones like you've never had it. That's not enough.
I'm sorry to all the Irish people. I didn't put an Irish item.
It was only 3, so clearly, if we extrapolate this in the theme of Eurovision, the countries you like are Scotland, America,
Yeah.
and
Two different Americans.
Two Americans. Okay.
Americans.
All right. Okay. USA.
There you go. No, so I'm in the middle of doing an Irish series. I like Ireland a lot.
It's not March yet.
But it's got a lot of problems.
Did you vote? Did you vote on the Osmonds?
Yes, but I'm not revealing
Okay.
what mine are until after.
Can I ask?
Did you write them down or something so we can say you didn't change your vote? Vote for the winners.
Yeah.
Seal it in an envelope.
Well, can I ask? Did you make much use of the people's vote within that construct? No. Okay. Interesting.
No, I go with what I'm into, not whatever else is. My channel is 100%. This is what I'm into.
Yes.
If you don't want to watch,
Yep.
there's a gazillion other channels to watch. I'm not in. I appreciate subscribers. I appreciate the numbers, but it's about this is my journey. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm interested in. I'm sharing it with my viewers.
Clearly, you're interested
Yeah.
in it. Yeah.
Can I share what I appreciate about your channel is the academic side, the studious side of it. I think that's your niche.
And yet, I try not to take myself too seriously.
Wow.
Going to poke fun at myself.
Foil hats.
And I try to add a little bit of humor. I try to be a little more. I enjoy the editing process. I enjoy the creativity of creating the videos. The editing. I enjoy the editing process of doing the videos.
It's been a while since we've had some metal or guitar jumping around Erik Wait. I think that should make a return.
Yeah, I used to do this weird dancing thing at the beginning of my live stream.
Dancing.
Yeah, I think some people didn't like it. I got a lot of bad comments.
Nah, you're good.
And I would get really winded and break a sweat.
That's what editing's for.
No, so I know I did that again.
So it's fun to watch your chat too. Like I haven't spent much time on this side of the camera.
So
to watch your chat come in and
so
like,
this
you got this guy coming in saying, hey, I agree with your first 2 drams, and then that's a hard question. I agree. I think it would change. It might change every weekend.
Yeah. So this is what this.
I think this might be one of them.
Okay,
right
so
now.
this is what StreamYard looks like.
Yeah, thanks.
So this is what. Okay, so I'm showing. I'm sorry you can't see that. This is what StreamYard chat looks like, but it doesn't. When someone says your name, you can comment down here, but it doesn't highlight. And if somebody gives you a super chat, you can't see it. And there's a lot of stuff that doesn't show up. So this is actually a pop-out chat from YouTube. So I just overlay of that.
There's a gap right there. There's a
Right.
there needs to be a solve there.
So this is how I do it. So anyway, hey, I want to bring in Cliff.
Peace out, YouTube.
Peace out. I think we're drinking the same thing.
That was
Is that back porch? Yeah. Come on in.
Clear the room. Hang on. There you go.
You don't have to go away, but
I've warmed it up for you.
there you go. Is this water for me, Bill?
Can be. Let me get
Yes.
you a fresh one. Let me get you a
Okay.
fresh
Okay.
one.
Thank you very much.
Hashtag.
You gotta stay hydrated.
I have been drinking.
So this is Bourbon Bytes. This is Cliff. How you doing?
Good. See you. Man, we just got here. Like,
And Mr. Ed is here.
hello.
Okay. Okay.
I came to say hi and let everyone know
that Erik Wait is the most beautiful man on YouTube.
He really is. I mean,
in the history of YouTube. Anyone is, no one is as good looking as Erik
And
Wait.
and Ed's a lying son of a bitch.
Well,
Okay,
Donnie-
squid in just a little bit.
the Linux cat was,
thank you, sir.
The Linux cat was texting me. He's like, I see you. So he's like, come on.
So this is Dirty Rotten Ed O'Meara.
Hey, the worst named channel on YouTube.
Dirty Rotten Ed.
Yeah, this
Dirty
is,
Rotten Ed.
I love it.
this is not the guy that I would hire to run my marketing branding department. Just wouldn't do
I
it.
remember you told me that when you first heard the name of the channel, the
I was like-
Rocket Review, you said that guy must be an idiot.
Yeah, I was like what? No, but I would say this after watching for a while, and I'd like to do. I want to do a video, and someone always gets offended because they don't get mentioned. What do I think are the top 10 most entertaining whiskey tuber channels?
Ah,
And you're definitely in the top 10. You're definitely in the top 10. Maybe get bumped into 11, depending on my mood. But so there is.
if you're willing to put up with
There's
me.
a total legitimacy to the so infotainment.
Right?
If you want to be an effective teacher, is to be entertaining. Otherwise, today we're going to discuss polynomials. You know, and it's just like you put the whole class. To
I mean,
sleep.
there's a place for that if you're really technical. But for me, it's like entertainment's the best part.
Oh,
Right,
sure,
right.
sure. You wanna give them a little something to latch onto. Give them something to enjoy. Yeah.
So to me, it's the difficult is find a balance. We have a good combination of the both. We're both informative and entertaining. And the Whiskey Tribe's approach is we're just going to be mostly entertaining. And if you happen to pick up something, well, it's kind of like, if you sit on a dirty seat, you might pick up something.
Yeah, right.
It's kind of like how you might catch something from the Whiskey Tribe. That's their main motto. But you look at Jason C. I think he's now more geekier than I am.
I mean, that could be true.
I think
that could be
in terms
true.
of the depth of information he puts on his videos.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm watching it. I'm like, fuck, dude, you're going on for 15 minutes on that.
Oh, man.
My video's over now. My videos are now 8 to 10 minutes. But I'm older, and when you get older, you just don't last as long.
Things don't
I mean,
work quite right.
Shit, mine's 5 minutes, so like I'm a 5 minute guy.
Oh, gotta get a little Viagra, and that'll keep you.
Hey, keep the live streams though an hour. I can go for an hour.
Yeah, right.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, but when I do a live stream out for an hour, I'm tired. I gotta go. I
It
gotta
is
take a nap.
exhausting. It is
That is true. That
So-
is true.
So when I gotta say, so when I started watching, I was like, "What the hell?" So I started watching it, and okay, the humor. I love the humor. It's very, very, very different. Just like Trinity and C are very, very different in their sense of humor.
Yeah.
They're very, almost stereotypical Canadian.
It's a good way to
Oh,
put it.
they went live. Like, did y'all see the live like a couple days ago with them? I
No,
think
I didn't.
they said we're gonna delete this in the morning.
right.
That was the best.
Right. So and for me, Daniel on the Whiskey Tribe video, when he's got the little shorts up, he's got the Daisy Duke shorts, and I'm like, no.
But that sounds like a typical day in Ed's life.
That's pretty much what I do. If I'm not shirtless during a video, something's going wrong.
Yeah.
I've
So-
actually dialed that back for those of you who might consider subscribing to the channel.
No. I will unsubscribe unless I see that again.
But I found I enjoyed the humor. But then I found out when you actually start talking about whiskey, I'm like, holy shit, this guy knows what the hell he's talking about. This guy knows his shit.
I do my best. I do my best.
So I wanted to have you on. We were going to talk about how bad Connemara is.
Yeah.
I just didn't get around to getting the samples out to you. I
Yes.
could have brought him if I wanted to. So my overall general impression of Connemara is no, thank you. I'll go to Isla. The Connemara non-age statement is palatable. The 12, I'm getting this kerosene note
Sure.
that I don't, and the cast strength. But I wasn't sure if my Connemara cast strength is that just a bad bottle,
I
or
don't think so.
it's
Because like Connemara cast strength overall runs super like petrol.
yeah.
Super petrol. Like
If you're pumping gas and you get some on your hand,
Yeah.
it's that exact smell.
It's
Have
exactly
you had
what
it?
it is.
I'm sorry. Like the bourbon guy just sits here and sips his coffee.
Yeah. You don't.
I'm learning.
it's-
I'm learning. I'm
it's-
appreciating a lot more scotch these days. So that's one thing. Like at first we were like, no, stick to bourbon. I'm like, no, you
It's
gotta
no-
expand.
Yeah, there's no rush.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. So first I thought maybe it was corked, maybe I tried trichloroanisole. It sounds like try cleaning your asshole. TCA. But then I think, but because of the other bottlings that have a similar character, but just not as intense, I think it's the cuts, the way they're doing the cuts on the still.
Yeah. Well, because what I was wondering about it is because if you
You're off the camera.
okay, I'm getting there.
Let's get you on the camera. See, but now you have the glowy glow halo of the sun behind.
Oh, look at me!
you
I'm
need-
like an angel.
He's like an angel.
No, I think I was wondering about that myself because my thinking was it could either be because I found this with one other whiskey, which was it's a Japanese whiskey from what is it, Shiranui? No, I can't remember the name of it right now. The name escapes me. But it's a peated whiskey that also has this really weird kerosene
Not
petrol
Hakushi.
thing. No, not Hakushi.
No.
This is I can't remember the name. Kurayoshi. It's from Kurayoshi Distillery.
Oh, okay.
There we go. But it's got the same kerosene, the same petrol. Tire fire. Erica actually liked it. My girlfriend Erica, she actually liked it. But what I'm wondering is
But
that
wasn't she a flamethrower thing in the circus?
you got to remember, she drinks nothing but Lefroy cast strength. That's
Yeah.
her thing. But I'm wondering because I think with certain whiskeys, when you peat the barley to a certain ppm, right? If you don't reach a certain ppm, and I'd probably say the 10 to 15 range, sometimes you get this super weird rotten sock petrol taste.
That I can relate to.
Yeah, and if you don't distill it right, if you take a cut weird, if you lean, and this is going to sound weird, but if you lean too far into the hearts rather than the tails, you end up with this kerosene petrol note rather than the smoke you actually make.
Yeah.
Is that what Mr. Great Shot was saying? Something to keep a lot of the heads.
Yeah, well,
Sounds like they're keeping more heads. Interesting. Oh, the heads.
because if you go and if you're not going into the tails deep enough, you're really missing out on smoke, pure smoke.
Right.
You're not really getting any of that actual peatiness. You're staying in this realm of weird alcohol petrol thing.
Well, someone over in Cooley Distillery needs to go over to Isla and spend some time working there, and then come back and go, okay, this is how we're going to make our whiskey.
Yeah.
Because I just don't like it.
Well, and I think if you like a kind of honey sweet Irish that just has a little bit of smoke on it, then you can do the non-age statement and you'll be fine. But if you are looking for actual smoke and you go with the cask strength, you're not going to find it. You're not going to find it. Yeah.
So the other thing I thought was weird about your channel is why in the hell would you want to do a channel that focuses on shitty whiskey? One, because people aren't going to watch it. And two, is life is too short. I only got one liver. Why do I want to drink shitty whiskey?
Hey, but sometimes, like, I mean, I've had my local group. I'm like, I picked up a handle of Wild Turkey 101. They're like, why would you buy that? I'm like, excuse you. That's like my go-to. That's like I gotta have a budget for. So
it's for the crack, man. It's for the crack. You gotta do it for the crack.
And I think it's something more deeper. It's something in your childhood, in your psychology. You're punishing yourself.
Probably.
Punishing yourself.
For sure.
When we first started the channel, right? I was looking at what people were doing, and I was like, okay, we got to find a niche.
Right.
You know, we got to find a little niche.
Right.
Everyone is doing whiskey they actually want to drink.
Right.
I want to make the jackass of whiskey channels. I want to make the jackass of whiskey channels that is drinking the worst shit possible. And then I figured out that was miserable.
That's not sustainable.
That was absolutely miserable. So I decided, okay, instead, we're going to have one day a week where I drink absolute shit. The other days of the week are going to be serious content.
I was gonna say it's been a while since I've seen like you do the shit whiskey.
Yeah, I just did Wild Irish Roast last Wednesday. So that was
right. I saw the white and the red. Yeah.
Wait, what is that?
It's a fortified bum wine.
Yeah, it's an
Oh
hobo
god.
whiskey.
Oh wait, it's like that. Oh, I've seen it in like gas stations.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah.
I gotta watch that.
Gas stations?
It's like a gas station
Yes.
wine.
Because they can't sell, like some of them can't sell liquor, so it's like they do the wine thing.
Yeah.
There's like a whiskey one. There's like a gin one.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know about that brand, but like I've seen.
But
it
there's
before.
ones like it where they fortify wine with spirits,
Yes.
and then they sell it, and they're terrible.
We gotta do a stream together. Like we've been talking about it for a minute. It should be like
I know. We should.
a
We
horrible,
should.
like I mean, you've been doing some gaming stuff too on your channel.
Yeah. Well, I've got a Twitch.
Yes.
So I've been doing some stuff over there. But uh-oh.
No, we just got
Look
we
at
just
this
got joined
We're
by
getting
Will.
kicked off. We're getting
By
kicked
young
off.
Okay.
Will. Young Will.
I think there's a certain gentleman who we should get on this channel.
So have you had anything? Yes. Order. Get something and put it on your tab. Put them on tab. Oh, okay.
Yeah. You bought me this very wonderful stout finished.
Oh, okay.
Which Erica and I enjoyed immensely. So
So
thank you.
I just finished what you're currently drinking. I like this.
It's really good. So this is like what did you tell them what it is?
Yeah. So the menu's right there, so I can read it off. Of
It
there.
is a back porch tea, whiskey, black tea syrup, lemon juice, and Angostura bitters. It's actually really good. There's like a lot of the tea elements in it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I would have never thought to do black tea and.
But it's got a nice citrus character. We're arguing whether it's herbal or herbal.
Herbal or herb?
Or
Herbal. Herbal.
It's
Yeah,
got a nice kind of herbal character, a little spicy character.
But you say herbal or herbal?
herbal.
Herbal.
Oh no. Well.
But the Scots say herbal.
Wait, no. Wait.
Herbal.
Oh, herbal.
Yeah.
I thought you said her. I was like, oh god.
Well, is it one referring to plants and one refers to weed?
I don't know.
Isn't
But
that how that works?
I live in California and I've never heard anyone call it herbal. So
so to me, it seems very much more of a summer drink. I think.
let me
So they're the top one. The new fashion to me. The new fashion is late night. It's a dark bar. You're drinking that. Maybe smoking a cigar. Where this is summertime hanging out on a porch.
Yeah.
It's after a sip, summertime whiskey for sure.
Yeah, but I like it. It's really nice.
Yeah, that's the good one for me to end on. Cause because we have dinner plans, so we will.
And it's kind of
hang out,
refreshing.
but-
I kind of like that. Kind of refreshing character to it. So it's nice.
I gotta try
I need a
this
third one.
Salty basil. That sounds like my thing.
What?
What is it?
It's a gin drink. It's gin, lemon, simple syrup, basil, and soda.
Do we want to show them the menu?
Oh
Yeah. So I showed to him earlier.
Sorry. I tried to watch it by the signals.
This is you're probably not going to be able to see it very well, but anyway. So this is the menu. I tried the new fashion black whiskey coffee. I'll probably finish with that one.
That one's good. Erica, that was her first drink, and that was awesome.
I think I tried the peaches ahead when I was here. It's a little too peachy. Yeah, I was gonna say something, but someone accused me of being sexist.
You know, if you have to qualify it, you probably shouldn't say it.
Good motto.
Yeah.
And there was some vodka drinks. Oh, but there was a magnificent. There was something malt mom.
The single mom, yes.
Where is? But I don't see that on here.
It's a whiskey. Like
Yeah,
it's not.
yeah.
Oh, it's a whiskey. Not okay. I'm gonna try that.
Delicious.
Fantastic.
Best thing I've had here today.
I'm debating whether the Malt of Magnificence was better than the stout finish. It's between those two for me.
To me, it was between the Isla cask and the Malt of Magnificence.
Yeah.
I'm not giving up on
You don't get a lot of smoke.
Well,
Yeah.
they said it's non-heated.
Oh, so
Yeah,
it's a
it's not
Bunnahabhain?
Yeah. So that's actually this. That's this.
Gotcha.
So I want to try a multi magnificent, but I need somebody to get me one. Done. Thank you, Will. then we'll get Will in here. Multi magnificent.
Yeah.
Once he gets back, I can get out of here. No
No,
one wants to see my ugly mug.
No, so this was my first time trying anything Eleanor. I think I had like batch one at like a meetup at one point 2 years ago.
Yeah.
My favorites, personally, again, bourbon guys. Like y'all have more perspective on things. The Isla cask actually really surprised me. Not peated, so it was smoky, but it wasn't peaty.
Sure.
And
Do you
then-
like peated?
I do.
whiskeys?
I
Oh,
do.
okay.
Actually, so the funny thing is, like, the whiskey, the Scotch that turned me not away from bourbon, but turned me towards Scotch more
Right.
was Oxmoor.
Oh, okay.
So-
Wow.
So I went off the deep end. Like I went all the way. So
Yeah, that's a tricky one, though, because some of those Octomores, for being as peated as they are, don't taste as peaty as some things with a lower PPM. And it's
Right.
weird.
okay, but for someone that's never had peat before,
Sure. Oh, no, you're right.
I died.
You're right.
I
You're
died.
right. That's a good point.
But it was delicious. Don't get me wrong. That was the turning point. What's up, Donald Rance? He was
Well,
just on
hey,
Instagram.
Donald Rance.
With the
Dude,
Octomore,
I just picked up some Method in Madness
Oh,
down here at Specs. I'm so excited to try it. Anyway.
Yeah, I need to hit up more liquor.
That's
stores
an
out
Irish
there
whiskey for
via
those of
chat.
But anyway, sorry to interrupt.
I don't know what to say.
So how long have you been into whiskey?
Me? years.
4
4
years.
years.
And when did you start your channel?
Well, that's a difficult question.
Because it wasn't whiskey first, was it?
Or were
I
you doing-
started
you
making-
started doing video games.
I started making videos when I was 15 years old.
Yeah.
So I did.
So you weren't drinking whiskey back then?
No, I wasn't, unfortunately. But my whiskey channel.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
So this is a malt of magnificent. It's. Do you know what the story is behind this one?
That's their crowdsourced
This is
one.
this is the crowd.
Crowd-
This is the first thing that they have made on their own.
Okay.
It's 100% barley.
So this is a malt made here at the Crowded Barrel.
50% peated Barrett.
Oh,
Small.
50%. Really?
Peated Barrett.
Can you
Small.
buy this by the bottle?
This bottle?
Yeah,
Oh.
It's just the little guys.
Oh.
This bottle right here.
Oh.
You did just buy the bottle.
Oh, okay. Okay.
If y'all want to see that.
It's weird.
It's definitely not my favorite.
Interesting color.
Wait, Will. You
Interesting
didn't like the ones
color.
I like. What did you like?
It's weird. It smells weird.
Controversial question.
Hang on.
Take this
let
offline.
Let him have his
Okay,
moment.
okay.
I
It's
don't wanna-
weird.
I don't want
Oh,
to
you think it's
flavor.
weird? Oh, I loved it. I loved it.
flavor
Like,
it.
I like that.
It's
I
very
like it.
different. It's not bad weird. It's just weird.
It's a lot of flavor. It's big, it's heavy, and it's rich.
See, and I got thin.
Really?
Really?
I got so young.
Really?
Oh my God.
No kidding.
okay, I get the young, but it has like a unique. Like,
It tastes all of the.
I get carameled apples.
Caramel, yeah, for sure. I got a really cool like maple syrup pancake thing going on. Yeah, it was the chestnut cask. I'm super excited. We're gonna open that tonight. So yeah.
There's a little bit of like a toasted marshmallow.
Yeah.
It kind of comes
Wow.
in mid palate. But
So-
to me, it's just very.
So did this go from here into the glass?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Wow.
do you like it?
I like the evolution of it. The ABV is 54%. It is really silky and round on mouthfeel. I'm still tasting it now.
Yeah.
I'm getting vanilla and spice right now. It's creamy. It's full-bodied, but I'm not getting like a bite. Of course, I've had a couple.
Well,
But-
so I did the full flight of their normal lineup.
I just got smoke.
Finally, right?
Yeah,
There's
it's
not a
like,
lot of
I just
smoke
got
on it,
I just
yeah.
smoked. Sorry for interrupting.
No. I was saying that. So I tried all the ones that were in their standard lineup, their flight. This is the one that surprised me. This one caught my attention. So I like that. Will, they're asking for you on camera.
Yeah,
So
tag in, buddy.
no,
Tag
I was-
in.
And the smoke is totally delayed.
There he is.
I mean, the smoke comes in really late. All right, so this is Will, the only man that
everyone's like, who's on camera? Is that Will from Whiskey Crusaders?
Will
It
from Whiskey
is.
Crusaders. So what's this?
I kept my beard.
I know.
I was worried I would not recognize you. I
He
was
looks like a baby.
I was like,
Okay, here's a true story. I look cuter without a beard. He looks cuter with a beard.
that beard. I mean,
There you go.
I'm a married man.
And it's a red
That beard.
spring.
It is.
Also-
It's a
also-
very impressive beard.
Right.
Also, my husband is freshly shaved, so like,
Oh yeah.
but sometimes you need a man with a beard.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's true.
Wow. So the smoke is totally late.
Oh,
You
yeah.
don't get it. Usually, peated whiskeys, it's up front, but this doesn't come in until like totally towards the end. I mean, the credits are rolling and the peak shows up. Wow,
My
really
wife
interesting.
can actually stand it, and she is not a fan of any Isla peated ones.
No,
That
she's not even on the stream. Like, she's like
right.
gone.
She's like, yeah, I'm not even gonna.
I think in the mid palate, it's a little hollow. In the mid palate,
I was getting a really cool like plum, like a dark, that dark plumminess on the.
Yeah, I can see that.
The nose on it though, that was the most impressive. I smelled it for like 10 minutes before
Yeah,
I drank it.
I did
So
like
you're
it.
going back and forth between bourbon, and then all of a sudden malt.
Right.
That's going to catch your attention.
It is.
That's
right? Because that's the outlier. That's what's just going to be the attention grabber.
So on a previous conversation, because we used to tie an onion around our belt, because that was the style in those days. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So 15, we were 15-year-old. You were doing some videos, but you don't count that.
Oh yeah. Sorry, go back to that. Yeah. So whiskey. Okay, we'll just jump to the whiskey. Skip all the embarrassing teenage videos.
Well, I guess I'm back on stream then.
I started my whiskey.
Will, I
reviews,
want you to come back later.
2018. Yes, I just celebrated 3 years of whiskey tube. So I came a long way.
Okay, so you've been in the whiskey for about 4 years then?
Yeah, about a year before I started the channel.
And so was it bourbon that first caught your attention?
It was honestly whiskey. Okay, this is like legit. Whiskey tube got me into whiskey.
Oh,
Like I was watching. It's Bourbon Night was the first one I found.
Okay.
So I was watching them. I was watching Whiskey Vault, like these guys here, and I just loved how passionate everyone was about it. And I was like, I want something that I'm passionate about. So I'm like, let me get into it. So I'm like, going to the liquor store, pulling my phone, looking up videos, and I found Evan Williams 1783, which was my first one that I really explored. Again, $16 bottle, right? Like it's not like, but. And I was like, wow, I appreciate this. I like the craft. I like all that behind it. So that was my turning point. Whiskey Tube got me into whiskey.
Okay.
That's cool, man.
So then when did you decide to make the jump and become one of us? One of us. One of us.
When I moved to California.
Because you were in...
I was in South Carolina. I grew up in South Carolina.
Right, because you actually did some things to do around South Carolina.
That was one of the most popular videos on my channel.
I think that was the first video I ever saw suggested for your channel.
Yeah. They do well. The travel videos do well, which I love to do. I would love to do more travel videos. It's just like 2020 happened and 2021.
Well, yeah. No, for sure.
But no, seriously, I met a local group out in Southern California. They were mostly Scotch drinkers, and that was when I tried the Octomore that I mentioned earlier. And I was like, oh no, I'm a bourbon guy. Like, I'll dab. I used to say I dabbled in Scotch. That was my thing. I dabbled in Scotch. But then they just freaking threw the Octomore at me. I'm like, oh crap. So
it's not a cheap bottle.
Pushing you into the deep end.
No, my first. Okay, but to be fair, that was the second meeting.
Okay.
First meetup that I went to with this group, they had Booker's 30th. Booker's Rye, my first meetup with these people. So everyone looked at me when I said Booker's Rye around there. Like I see people around here. I saw 3 people turn around. No, so that was like the first meetup. So like, oh my god, these guys got me hooked. And then the next meetup, it was all Scotch. So they pulled out the Octomore, I've learned a lot since then. But I've learned with Scotch, coming from the bourbon world, I like either extremely peaty or extremely sherry.
Okay.
So I like the really like Abalora Buna. I like the there's plenty. I mean, top of my head, it's hard to come up with, but
yeah. So I'm very eclectic in music, movies. I just almost everything, which I really like because then I kind of enjoy anything, and I can be much more mood driven. In terms of what I want to drink. Really in the mood for this. Really in the mood for that.
Right.
Summertime, that's what I'm drinking.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna have, or a bourbon on ice. So then you made the jump over into okay, I'm gonna not just enjoy the whiskey, but then put my mug in front of the camera and make videos.
Well, but that's because I've been doing it since I was 16.
Okay, so you're already done videos. Now you just switched over to whiskey.
The weirdest thing is I was way more popular embarrassing myself in front of the camera than when I'm doing whiskey reviews. I literally
So you were like
I know that feeling.
Yeah,
I know that feeling.
Like
my mom called me up the other day and said, "So you're kind of playing the clown on these streams." It's like, yeah.
No.
And she was like, why don't you, if you want to be a serious whiskey reviewer, why don't you be a serious whiskey reviewer? And I'm like,
because there's enough of those.
I don't want to be that.
Yeah.
So, a little sneak peek. I used to do song parodies. That was my thing.
Really? Okay.
In the early days of YouTube, I was 16-year-old with a green screen on my bedroom wall.
Okay.
Got not crazy popular like today, but I'll never forget the moment I was in Paris on a school trip in 11th grade, and this little girl came up to me when I was eating. She's like, "Are you?" My old channel. And she was like, I love your videos. I'm like, thank you. I was like, I'm in Paris. Someone recognized me. Something's happening. Cheers. Whatever we're cheers.
It's time for church. We got to go. Sorry.
All right. Now,
all right.
There's a speech happening.
Okay.
Yeah, turn. Only if you're old enough do you know that joke. All right. So, I've got good news and bad news. The bad news is, it turns out there really is a wedding that has rented this place starting at 8 o'clock. And we can't be here anymore at that point.
Okay. Well, we're not. It's only 6:30.
Yeah, and I'm not joking at all. It actually happened. I don't know how much
thinking was going into it when I got booked, but it did definitely happen. However, I looked at the contract, and all it says is that they get the deck and the tasting room. It says nothing about the woods or the grapes and grain area or around the welcome center that has tables, right?
There are other bottlenecks on the tower, though.
Nothing. Yeah. It also says nothing about the parking lot. So here's the thing. At 8 o'clock, we're all gonna like mass exodus this deck. Whoever is still here.
I'll be ready for
might
bed.
not even be here.
I won't be there.
And Richard and the lovely crew can still get you whiskey, but only neat whiskey or whiskey on ice. But you're gonna have to go to the back.
We shouldn't be telling them this.
We probably
Y'all can't hear anything. You didn't hear anything.
Back of the distillery, walk up to the side of the bar where all the dishwashing is going on. I'm gonna need another bourbon. And that is also how you are going to close out your tab. So you're gonna have to tell somebody who's closing out your tab, here's how much I'm gonna tip, and sign my name to it. Because you're not gonna be able to come in to close your tab. Fair enough? Fair enough! It's called Adventures. All right. Now, I am very glad that you guys are all here, and I'm not going to do it one at a time, but cheers to you all, you magnificent bastards.
Oh, I think I'm out of drink.
Cheers! Hey. There's too many people here. There we go. All right. Now I got to get the camera. Oh, I got to get the camera. I'm on.
All right, I actually got to head out. We have
Okay.
plans, but
Okay.
thank you so much, Eric, for having me
Yep.
on.
We should get Will in here right quick.
Yeah.
Let's find ourselves a Will.
Bye, guys. Thank y'all so much for watching.
There we go.
Subscribe to this.
I've
family.
actually already subscribed. I've actually got a lot longer than I thought it would.
At least your people are subscribed.
A lot more people are here than I thought they would. So it's cool. I want to get Will on. Will.
Hey, Eric, guess what?
What?
You're buying me that gin drink. Thank you.
Okay. Hey, Sarah. Well, come on in. Whoa, earthquake, California. You know what? The camera's not on it, so it's okay. So it's a good thing I'm using this camera. If I was using this, the whole thing would be shaking. So we're fine. All right, there we go. Hey, so we got two of the Whiskey Crusaders. Is Matt coming down later or whatever?
I don't know where the fuck he is.
We that's official. We do not know where the fuck he is. That's official. So.
He was in Waco. We passed him in Waco. Yeah, we totally passed him.
You know, I don't think I've seen you. I didn't know you had tats.
I have like 11 tattoos.
Holy cow! I didn't know that. Now I'm curious.
This Harry Potter. Care Bears.
Okay. Is that Peter Pan?
Peter Pan.
Okay, I've got that one. Oh wow.
Harry Potter. My son's feet.
Oh wow. What's your son's name?
William.
Wait, okay, named after you? Okay.
Junior.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm too much of a wuss to get tattoos.
I'm all about that.
There we go. That'd be painful.
It's my second spending a lot.
There we go.
Yeah, whiskey and tattoos.
So you had purple. Did you add another color since the last time I seen you on
I
live?
changed it last night.
There you go.
Changed it last night.
Okay, now I got to ask you some funny questions. So I've heard, maybe things have improved, but I heard like when people did movies, if they're constantly changing hair, it would actually cause the hair to get brittle and stuff like that.
Sometimes if you over
Over
process
that,
it.
okay.
Yeah.
But you don't have those. You don't have those issues. Or since you did fine. Okay.
She doesn't bleach it very often.
I know. Now we're gonna talk about
Bleaching
hair.
process is what really.
'Cause that's what you really want to know about.
kills your hair.
Bleaching and conditioning. That's gotta, yeah.
I'll try it sometime.
Yeah.
I'll just
Maybe with your beard.
Paint. I'll just paint on your head.
So okay, now we got to hear the true story. Now that Matt isn't here, we can talk shit about him.
Don't watch the
Okay,
replay.
so I remember. So I did that video on Whiskey Tubers, and I asked Matt something about how to become Whiskey Tuber or something like that. He said, "Oh, you know a lot about whiskey. Some people kept telling me you should start a whiskey channel, so I started a whiskey channel." And that was just Matt. So how did the three of you decide? Let's do a channel and kind of do it the way you do it.
Well, me and Sarah had the idea of starting up a channel.
Is it me and Sarah or Sarah and I?
Sarah and I.
don't know, it could be.
I think appreciate you for correcting my English. I think it's nice. Sarah and I were going to start up a channel on our own. About 3 months before we met Matt, we were having discussions about doing that.
Oh, okay.
Mainly just to film our whiskey journey and to have notes of what we got on whiskeys in a way that was more accessible to me, because I don't like going back and reading things. I would much rather go back and watch something and listen to something.
I would use my own video.
I'm an Audible.
Sarah Whittington. She was here.
I use my own videos for that. For that reason.
Yeah. Especially when we have, now that we have the channel, we have amazing distillers on, or people. We had on the guy from Chicken Cock, and he was a master. He was a
That's
barrel
not a
maker.
porn movie. That's actual whiskey.
it's actually whiskey. It's actually not bad.
He was a barrel maker for a really long time, and
Okay.
the exploration that we learned about wood was absolutely incredible.
It makes this joke on its own.
Doesn't it though?
Jeez.
He's
Okay.
from Chicken Cock, and he taught us about wood. It was lovely. It was absolutely fantastic. But that was the reason why we were going to start a channel. It was mainly just for tasting notes in that way.
Okay.
We met up with Matt because we had the same hairdresser.
Yeah.
My sister
Really?
has been cutting Matt's hair for
Well,
years
Bill, the
and
Whiskey
years and years.
Dictionary and I, same hairdresser.
Same hairdresser.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thick, right?
We were both getting our hair cut, both talking to our hairdresser about how excited we were to come down to the first Bastards Ball.
Okay.
She introduced us.
Oh, so you didn't know my? Oh,
Had no idea.
No,
Yeah, introduce
and
my
then
hair.
they found each other in the
We found each
Patreon
other in the Patreon
for Whiskey
Oh,
Tribe.
okay.
shortly after being told about each other. You know.
And then it was like two best friends in junior high, back and forth on their phones and late at nights. And
And then
talking
you
about
guys
whiskey
live
and-
fairly close.
We lived like 5 minutes.
Oh
from
wow.
each other,
Okay.
Ironically.
Right down the street.
So we all got to talking about that, and Matt was like, "Well, I have the whiskey," and William was like, "Well, I can do the editing."
And Sarah's like, I got the cats. And
I
Will's
like
like,
to
I got the
drink.
bacon.
So it just kind of worked out.
Okay. Cool.
I brought the editing to the channel because Matt had none of that. So, I at least knew how to point a camera and light things properly.
And I take care of as much of the social media as I can
Okay.
because they don't like social media.
Right. And you're more on the bourbon. You don't like the peated.
I like everything except for peat.
Okay.
I like Scotch, it just has to be on peat.
Okay.
But I like bourbon too, but it has to be high proof.
Pardon?
High proof.
If it's peated, it has to be high proof.
No, I like bourbon too, but it has to
Oh,
be
but you like high proof bourbon. Okay, gotcha.
Higher the better.
Yes.
So, I like high proof bourbon more in the summertime because it typically still has all the oils, and then you can put it on ice and still bring it down, and it turns into like, to me, it's like a lot of them melted French vanilla ice cream.
Yeah.
That's what I get out. And the vanilla really comes out. So I really like high proof bourbons during summertime on ice. I really like them.
I'll have to try that next summer. I'm not a big altering my whiskey fan.
Oh, okay.
Like I'll do it to like try, see what happened. Like a couple drops of water does to open up some whiskeys.
Right.
But ultimately, just give me my whiskey and let me drink it.
So off camera, to me, it's a drink. It becomes a drink, and I'm doing something else. I'm typing, reading a book, I'm doing something else, and so it's there as a drink off to the side. And I if it's colder, it's more refreshing.
Right.
And so that's why I like something colder. And it gets hot here too.
Yeah.
But it gets warm in California,
Right.
than it does in Glasgow. So I like things cool off that way. But if it's really, really cold, winter, no, I'm not putting it on ice. And I like peat. I tend more towards peat, during the wintertime.
Yeah. Reminds you of those barbecues and
Right.
smoking and
Right.
smoking
So
stuff.
where did the name Crusade? Why the Whiskey Crusaders? Just
That was on Matt. That was all Matt.
Yeah.
something out of his Catholic background.
Yeah. We were all Catholic background.
Oh, okay.
We were
Okay.
all,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
at one time, yeah.
Pax Dominus and Semper Vobiscum. And may the Lord bless you always. It's in Latin. It's a benediction. Yeah, there you go.
Brought up Catholic, didn't learn how to speak Latin.
I took 1 year Latin, 2 years of Greek, 2 years of Hebrew, and 1 year of Latin.
I'm Italian, can't speak
There
Italian.
you go.
So,
So you guys go live typically on Monday nights.
Monday nights.
And then you put-
9:30-ish.
But you guys have been putting like a video almost every day lately.
Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
Yeah.
So a lot of videos, and you've been getting into liqueurs and all kinds of weird stuff.
Saturday.
I'm guessing that comes from Matt.
Yes.
Matt's collection extends far beyond just whiskey.
Yes.
Okay.
While he does have,
It goes
one of the
beyond his
largest-
living room, the kitchen, the garage,
Dining room.
the dining room, the backyard.
Yeah, all of the
Bathrooms.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
Beyond that, he also has quite a big liqueur collection as well.
Okay.
And vodkas and gins, and basically it's just a bar.
He just likes liquor.
He likes the liquor.
So next time I'm in there, Dallas Fort Worth, right? Next time I'm in there, I'll go sleep at Matt's house.
That's exactly it. Yes, you might have
Except
to
for
sleep
except there's one thing. Is her name?
Violet.
Violet. Yeah, it's a little loud, a little active.
She's a hellion.
Little volume.
She's a hellion.
Jump in the karate and all that.
Not just when we're on live streams either.
Yeah.
24/7.
Yeah. So I live by myself. I'm used to a quiet house.
Oh, they don't have that.
And I live in a neighborhood. The bare minimum age, you have to be at least 55 to live there. So I'm the young kid I have a neighbor who's 102.
Wow.
Yeah. So all my neighbors, they're probably 15, 20 years older than I am. So I'm the kid on the block. I met one lady, my neighbors. Oh, hi, America. Just moved in. I just turned 55. Oh, you're a baby.
You're just a
Hey,
baby.
it's a baby. But
I have children older than you.
Yeah. So it's like by 8 o'clock, it is dead silent, and it's dark. But it's nice because you don't see the stars and stuff. But it's like dead silence. Everybody's gone to bed.
Lights are out.
Super quiet. All the deer are out running around.
I would go crazy.
That's nice.
Yeah, I like it. I like the quiet.
Violet. It's funny how everyone around the world knows Violet. It's true. I mean, if you watch our streams, you know.
Yeah.
It's just
Even if you haven't seen her, you know that voice, and the reason why they're late.
the screech.
Reason why they're coming late.
Well, the most reason lately why we're late is because of karate. They've got karate on Monday nights, and they change the time and whatnot. And so
Times changed after
it is what it is, and we just go on for as long as we go on and drink whiskey.
I want to try this on ice.
What is it?
This is the mom.
Single mom?
Yeah, single mom.
Yeah.
I wish I could buy a full bottle of it.
What do you think of it?
It's interesting.
The Irish beef.
The smoke shows up very late.
Really?
I don't. For me, it shows up like after I swallowed and like I'm talking, and like 30 seconds later, it's like, oh, there it is.
Really?
But I'm used to drinking peated.
Yeah. And I don't like the peat, but I like this because the Irish peat comes off different for me.
Oh, so these are Irish peat.
It comes
Barrett's
off.
peated Irish. It's 50% Barrett's peated Irish.
Yeah.
So that's what Andalusia uses. Andalusia uses it. And slave leg, which is not spelled like it's slave leg, does a dark silky.
I'm an exuberant person. Leave me alone.
So
I can't hear Eric. He's right here.
I'm important.
Damn it.
So have you had the dark silk? Slave Leg is the name of the distillery. And it's called Dark Silky.
No.
And it's an Irish peated whiskey. Have you had the Andalusia peated?
Yes.
It's like that. Calm down.
Because theirs is very.
Very peated. I'm not a fan of
this. Is
Andalusia
nothing compared to that.
So the Andalusia peat, it has a similar profile, but just crank it down a notch, and that's what it's like. And so I really, really like it.
And see, you know how usually peated, you get that medicinal iodine.
Right. Which is probably the stuff you don't like.
Oh, stuff that I don't like. I just get straight barbecue smoke on this.
Right.
Marshmallows.
Right.
Roasted, charred marshmallows. I like that.
Right.
So
it's more of the medicinal iodine.
I don't like the medicinal.
Yeah.
Don't.
You know what I really want is just an ice cube.
I know. I'm gonna try to get one for you. Can you grab me something?
Of the variants.
Can you give me just a glass and an ice cream? From the bar.
Everyone else
Pretty
is,
please.
only
Thank you.
the fancy Daniels. Only the
Anybody?
That's Clifford's. Clifford's
Other better man. Better half.
Yes.
So I meant to ask you, they're in San Diego, right?
I believe so. Yes.
I was gonna. So there's the largest collection in a whiskey bar in the world is actually in San Diego.
Nice.
That's on 3rd Avenue. It's called the Whiskey House. And I was gonna ask him if he'd been there. I'm sure he has. I know, but maybe they're not open right now. Anyway, it's kind of a dark place. You couldn't shoot video in there, but you get a menu and you're going page after page after page, or you just walk around the place. You're like, oh. You know.
I'm gonna need a flight of like 12.
Yeah. And they have like little hamburgers and stuff like that you can get there, so you can get some food and whatever. But really, really, really cool place. So, and Bill, the whiskey dick's been there as well. So if you're ever in San Diego,
One of these days I'll get him there. I haven't been to California in a long time. So.
Where?
California.
Oh,
One of these days I'll get him there.
come when it's not on fire.
Yeah,
Yes. Preferably.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've been.
Like the last 5 years, it's been right now. I mean, we got some recent rain. Where I live, we get like a heavy fog. That's enough moisture to kind of help out with a lot. Yeah, I'm about 8 miles from the ocean. Very close to the
2018,
ocean.
2017, that things really picked up.
Well, this year we lost a town called. I just need an ice ball.
An ice ball is an outside whiskey.
So no. For this, no.
That was the question.
No, I know about that. I know about it.
Yeah,
So I like
the manager
No.
decided to come over. And
So I like
They're Richard.
So this is Richard Amaro. I had him on earlier. So this is the version of a peated. That's just a touch of peat on the finish. But I want to try it on ice and see what it's like.
Perfect. I can do that for you.
I think I appreciate it.
Yeah. I had somebody, a stranger came inside asking for a ice cube
Oh, yeah.
for an outside whiskey, so I needed to come and
No. Just an eyeball. I'm not an eyeball, an ice ball.
Yes, I sometimes handle things like a policeman.
Yeah, that's not legal.
Yeah.
That's not legal.
We don't want this place to get shut down.
No.
I know better than that.
Richard's
Well, you're actually not in the tasting. You're not allowed to pour for yourself either.
right.
So no, I don't know if it's illegal to buy a bottle and then pour it out here. I don't know.
I don't know about that either.
Probably not.
I mean, you bought their product and you're on their property,
Right,
so.
but I don't know.
But
I
then-
don't know if you can pour for yourself.
I don't know. What if I pour it for you?
So there was a. In California, it's illegal. You have to be paid in order to work in a winery and be a pourer. So there was a winery in the Livermore area where people they like hanging out and hey, they'll pour. They're friends of the owner, so they're in there pouring. And someone from the TBB showed up. Yeah, and they got fined like $500,000 and they put them out of business. Thank you, sir.
So permission has been achieved.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, but we're all Psalms here, so we can pour for you.
Well, you're not employed though.
We're Psalms up there.
Yeah.
Let's go.
You're not employed.
Why are we sitting here?
You know, that's a really good question.
It's not far.
It's just a walk right up the trail.
Oh yeah, it is that. Well, I'm used to going that way.
From Englewood.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's just right there.
Okay.
It's just dead. I got the code.
So you guys just did the level 2 class.
Yes, we did.
How is the level 2 class different from the level 1?
So much more information. So many dates.
They were much more into the history.
Now, what about tastings?
Same amount of tastings. There was a special tasting this time where it was food pairing, and you did your own food pairing to go with the whiskey you picked. So you have to pick anything from the back that they pour throughout the classes and pair it with dinner.
Okay.
One
Oh,
night.
interesting.
Yeah, it was actually kind of fun.
So for the level 1, you do these series of 3s. They have the little trays with the little thing in it and 10 cans on them. Is it 12?
12
tastings.
sets of three.
12 sets of three.
And so, yeah, you do a lot of whiskeys. And it's a lot of comparison, and so forth. And then, of course, Daniel, at the end, he identifies what's what. At the end, blind, just kind of show off whatever.
Not always. We got him some.
We got him a couple of
Oh, really?
Yep.
So
We actually gave him the note for Dickel. He's never found
heard
the
of
vitamin. He's never heard of that.
oh, right.
And so our class was the one that introduced him to that vitamin note
Okay.
in Dickel.
So
Because
we
every
know
single
Dickel.
time he gave me a tasting, I was like, well, this is a Dickel. And he was kind of blown away by the fact that I could pinpoint that distillery every single time.
Yeah.
And it's like a vitamin character?
Flintstone vitamin.
vitamin. Okay.
Yeah, it's
The
a
chalky,
chewy, cherry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but in terms of the amount of tastings and stuff you do throughout, it's pretty similar, but they're doing something different. Are you reading the same? All right, see y'all later. So, but in terms of the reading, is it the same book for going to more, or what are you doing in terms of reading?
They didn't have a different book this time. So it was just, they did give us 5 books.
Okay, as
I
recommended
left-
reading. Or?
I left with 5 books that they gave to us. All of the information from the class came from those 5.
Okay.
So they gave us the resources at the end, which was pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah, we got a lot of books.
How does that change it?
I like it colder. What I find if you put it on ice, the cask characteristics jump out more.
Oh.
So while some things get diminished, everything's get increased. I find anything that's from a cask, anything that's a tertiary characteristic, that's what jumps up more. So I actually kind of like it that way.
I'm gonna have to try it on ice at home.
There goes a Brian Brushwood walking through the woods.
Brushwood walking through the
There's
brush.
a Brian Brushwood walking through the woods. There's a modern rogue.
Modern road guy. I hung out one time I was here before, and he was hanging out here. So I'm kind of curious. I wonder how long I've been going live, just for shits and
2
giggles.
hours and 13 minutes.
Oh, that's a record for me. That's a record for me. So
Well, you've got people come in and
yeah, it helps keep going longer.
Yeah. See what to do.
I'm gonna have to take a break before I hit the road and go back to my hotel.
Where are you staying?
I don't know. My phone knows.
Well, that's fair.
My phone knows. My phone knows.
You're not at
Some hotel. No. So, actually, staying here tomorrow night.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So Saturday and Sunday, I stay here. So I just got a hotel room.
Patreon or channel.
Nice. So what? Okay. Nice.
There's the people for the wedding. I don't know what they're
At least that's what Emma told me. If not, then I'm in trouble.
There's a bunch of shit.
So have you guys been here for every Bachelor's Ball? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
We were here at the original one just as.
But it's only like a 3-hour drive from there, right?
It is, yeah.
About 3.5, give or take the traffic.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's not bad.
So, how do you guys work out in terms of what you're going to do? Like for me, I tend to do a series. Okay, I just every once some Irish, Highland peated, Texas. Yeah, I tend to do these series and a certain focus on things. You guys just kind of do randomly whatever the hell you feel like, whatever Matt feels like doing.
We do whatever Matt feels like doing.
Okay.
So
we drink what Matt gives us.
So we typically batch record on Sundays, like every other Sunday or so.
So you do a whole bunch of them all at once? Okay. I don't. I record one at a time.
Oh no, we batch record. Or else we wouldn't be able to get nearly what we
Because
get
of
done.
time?
Well, time, and he's got 2 kids, we've got 1 kid, we all work, and
He's got fired.
we don't all work. But so it's usually every other Sunday or
Okay.
so, and we'll batch record, and
It's only what? 4 whiskeys and 2 liqueurs for 2 weeks worth of stuff. So it's really not, drinking through a heck of a lot. On
And-
Mondays, we go through, 18, 28 whiskeys. So.
sometimes. And it's literally Matt will text William and say, I'm ready. And William will drive over to Matt's house and pick up a baggie worth of samples. And we'll come home and get on with Matt and be like, okay, what are we doing? And we'll
What does
find
this bottle say?
and what is it? And we'll just,
Yeah, Matt, the best handwriting in the world.
So
There's the
the thing about
Dr.
it is,
Dr. Matt.
Dr. Matt,
Dr.
seriously.
the thing about it is Matt has the time to review these on his own and write some notes. We're blind.
Right. Oh, okay.
We notes on the spot. And Matt has his where he actually sits with it for a little while because he knows what we're doing.
Right,
we don't
right,
get him
right,
until
right,
right before we start recording.
Okay.
So, it's.
So you guys are
That's
doing
more
sort of
fun
off the
for
cuff where he's already gone through it.
He
So-
has a little piece of paper written in front of him that has,
His
all
notes,
his notes and his tasting
the
notes.
history of what we're doing.
Right.
And
So,
whatnot.
so when I do a bottle, say I wait till I get down to about here on a
Right.
bottle. So I know what it tastes so I go in front of the camera. I know what it tastes like. I know what it smells like. I've written notes. So when I get in front of the camera, I'm not trying to figure out what it smells and tastes like. I already know what it smells like. I know exactly what to expect.
And
Right.
when we were originally doing this,
we did that.
Matt would give us samples beforehand. We'd usually have a couple of days with them, and then we'd.
And then COVID hit, and
Right.
things changed.
Right.
And it turned to like porch pickup for a while. And it was like.
But you guys, in terms of, because the way you guys record, it looks like your live stream where you have the
Right.
bacon background.
Right.
Except
of right now.
you have no cats.
Right.
Right.
Without the cats.
Well, sometimes they join.
Very rarely.
Very rarely.
We don't
because there's
usually
no
have bacon.
when we're doing
Oh.
our review recording.
Right. Which is why the cat's like, Oh, bacon. That's correct.
Screw you guys.
Not interested. So, but you use the same format, the visual format. Of
Right.
Right now.
Right now.
And that will change again.
Once things calm down,
Oh,
everything
really?
with COVID.
I think so?
Yeah, but when we first started, we would go over to Matt's house.
Oh, okay.
Because he lived so close, and we would sit,
I
the
don't-
three of us.
I don't think I might have, but I don't remember seeing those ones.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's pre-COVID, and we would all be in the same room recording together.
And we'll get back to that.
We'll get back to that eventually. Yeah.
So now, in terms of the whiskey song, the classes thing, where do you guys think you're going to want to go with that? So you're actually working. Are you working in a restaurant?
I was.
Okay.
I got fired from COVID, with COVID long ago.
So
I was a wine sommelier for Del Frisco's.
Right.
Nice little steakhouse in downtown. But so I was utilizing it quite a bit there. Just being able to discuss wine and whiskey, more in depth. But
yeah, so a lot of restaurants have closed. The fine dining restaurant is not geared towards drive up, delivery. There's not. That's not their model.
No.
Well, and with the lack of willing employees to pay a wine sommelier is bottom barrel.
Right.
We don't need that. We need
Right.
you to serve food.
Right.
So they're not,
Right.
And I'm not really willing to do that.
Right.
Been there, done
So-
that.
Yeah.
So
So what are you doing now?
he's
Living life,
mooching off of me.
There you go.
living life, having fun.
He's mooching off of me.
So you guys doing all right though?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Life is good.
Yeah, it's been a real challenge. There's a master sommelier in Colorado. He owns 3 restaurants. His name slips my mind at the moment. He's a master somm who still works the floor. There aren't a whole lot of master somms that work the floor. And his name slips my mind, which drives me crazy. But I think he's closed 2 of his restaurants. Yeah, and he's a restaurant owner, as well as being a master somm who works the floor. And he's been a real fighter to try to get laws changed to help out the restaurant industry and so forth. But where the drive-through restaurants, your burrito shop with a drive-through, they're doing fine.
booming.
Yeah, they're booming. Your whiskey shops are booming, where your bars are hurting.
Yep. Because
So-
nobody wants to go sit down and
So distribution has had to shift. If you're a distributor and you had a high, a lot of restaurants on your portfolio, you had to reshift and then start distributing elsewhere.
Yep.
So the money's still being made; it's just being made elsewhere. And if you're dependent on the service, because really it's all about service, the service industry. So waiters, sommeliers, whatever, in a broader category, it's a service industry in general. And in the fine dining, where it's the experience is about to be able to sit down, white linen, fine dining, special weddings, whatever else. When that goes out the window, and now you're doing drive up
Right.
or take home, it loses. It loses that.
the upside is Texas actually finally passed the law that you can do drive up and take home liquor. So that's first tier in Texas. That's a big step for Texas because
Well, and then that actually cascaded into a couple other laws changing. There was a law in the books for a long time that you couldn't buy beer or wine before noon on Sundays.
yeah.
So we'd have Cowboy games starting at noon, and people not being able to buy a 6-pack before a Cowboy game starts at noon. As if that makes sense to somebody. But that
I can tell you what, as a theologian, it's not in the Bible.
they changed that back
I
to
don't know
now
where they
7
get that
a.m. again. But as part of
But our liquor stores still aren't open on Sunday.
Right.
You can't buy liquor on Sunday.
no liquor can be purchased on Sunday in Texas.
But you can get to-go liquor from restaurants.
I get a headache.
Texas is...
Yeah. Well, I mean, every state has its jackass laws.
Yeah, but the
screwed
blue
up
laws in Texas are just...
So if I was running for office, man, that would be like one of my top 10
First
things
thing.
as a campaign speech.
And we can't buy booze in grocery stores
You
or
have to have a
big
dedicated
box
store
stores. It
that
has
just
to be a
sells
liquor
liquor.
store. You can't, you roll
can't
into
sell liquor and
Wyoming and you
cigarettes in the
pull up
same
to your
store.
first 7-Eleven, you can walk in and buy a handle of whatever you want.
Louisiana, same
You
thing.
can't do that.
So Prohibition never ended. It just reverted back to the states.
Right.
So it really never ended. It just reverted back to
based
states.
on
Then the
states,
states
yeah.
can make up their dumbass laws. And you got to kind of wonder who comes up with this weird ass shit.
I'd still rather this than state control.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Ohio
Ohio is just, I would not want
or,
that.
or large parts of Canada.
Right.
Right.
Right. No thanks.
I mean, they have fixed pricing, but then they have limited availability.
Right.
So they got,
And you have availability based on what the guy at the top
Decides
decided that he
you
was going to
have.
purchase for your whole goddamn state.
Yeah.
Like that. Just,
Not even individual liquor store purchases. It's not hooligan.
Right. The whole state gets the same thing.
yeah, I mean, it's a whole nother discussion, but I think that contributes to the secondary market
It might.
big time.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because
well,
if
just
you-
like Prohibition contributed to bootlegging
Yeah.
and stuff sneaking across the
rise of
border.
NASCAR.
It's just a softer form of bootlegging.
Right?
The secondary market is just a softer form of bootlegging.
Well,
So-
that's the other thing in Texas. You can't ship in
Yeah.
individually. I can't
Can't
get
ship.
something shipped to me. I'm not supposed to ship anything out. You know, it all has to go through a liquor store.
Man.
The tiers.
I'm glad I never moved because I had thought about moving to Texas. I'm glad I never did.
I can get a
Wait till
delivery from a liquor store. Like I have a liquor store around me that delivers, so he will bring me.
But it has to come from the liquor store. I can't buy from one of the websites that are out there that sell whiskey, master of malts, any of that. I can't buy from that, and they won't ship to us.
No shit.
We'll ship into Texas.
It won't ship individually.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yep.
See, I got a lot of complaints about California, but in
Texas
general,
sucks.
they tend to have some cheaper prices. I think that we tend to have better availability. Springbank seems to be more available in California than it is in Scotland. But I can have anything I want shipped to me. There's no problem there. I think it's because it's such an important wine state.
Winery.
They
Yeah.
don't want their exports to be screwed with.
You're allowed to ship wine. Our Texas wineries can ship wine around the state. That's okay.
But who wants it?
Right. That's good.
No. I've actually had some good wines here.
I've had some Texas.
I've had some good wines. I had a Syrah here. I think it's Fall Creek? I think it's Fall Creek Winery. Anyway, I think it's Fall Creek. Anyway, I had a Syrah, a little expensive, but it was very, very Rhone-like.
Yeah.
Southern Rhone-like. Kind of like
I was going to say there's been some good
Movedra.
Movedra. There's been some good.
Or just Mourvèdre if you're really cool.
Grenache blends.
Okay.
A lot of those coming out of the area.
Yeah, it was very. I know we're going to wine here. It was very Chateauneuf de Pop.
Yeah.
Kind of characteristics to
Yeah.
it. Or as they say, Chateauneuf de Doofy Poopy.
I've never heard that one.
Yeah,
I like that one.
So just go on YouTube, type in how to pronounce Chateauneuf de Pop, which means Chateau of the Pope, because the Pope used to hang out there. Anyway, so there's someone that says Chateauneufy Doofy Boopy. Anyway, you ever seen those how to pronounce videos? That's what it is. Yeah. Anyway, check it out.
That's hilarious.
The last one I want to try. So I've had the New Fashion. I've had the Black Porch Tea. I had the Moscow Mule. No. I had a single malt. It's not on here.
No, it's not on here.
I want to try the one with coffee in it.
Oh yeah.
Ice whiskey coffee. That'll be my final one. I'll try one. And we're coming up on 7:00, so we got to be ahead in about an hour because someone's getting married here at 8:00.
Yeah. So they're actually getting married now.
They're up at the chapel.
They're up at the chapel.
Oh, but then
They
they're gonna
rented
They
this
rented the
house.
space
Oh,
at 8.
okay.
At 8. Yeah. Apparently, that was done way before they set the date.
Well, this is a little later in the year than they did before, which I kind of like. I like the weather.
They did it for a couple of reasons. Number one, Austin almost always has some sort of festival happening.
Right.
This was one of the
In
few
October.
weekends that there wasn't a lot of festivals happening.
Because last year, or 2 years ago,
2 years
South by
ago,
Southwest.
it was South by Southwest, which was a giant music and comedy festival. Was happening the same weekend that this was. All the hotel prices, everything was much more expensive than it was this time too. So that I think the heat. I think they just kind of didn't want to do that in August again.
Yeah.
I think it was last weekend, 2 years ago that we were here. First weekend, second weekend.
So the very first one I wasn't here for, but I remember looking at the temperature going, what the hell are they thinking?
So it's insane.
Wasn't it August? It was August the first year.
So I was here for my birthday when I did the Psalm 1 class. It was my birthday that week. And yeah, it was a wee bit hot.
Yeah.
Basically, you run from one building to the next to go to get the AC.
Yeah, and
And
we
the
were
walk
here.
from Engelbrecht up to the tower.
Oh
is
my
just-
Yeah,
gosh,
it's
we were
pretty
here in
brutal.
Thank God
August
you're
for
going in the
something
morning.
too. Yeah, and once you get up there, you don't leave until it's time to go down, and you hang out at at the dorms. But
So Roy Williams, Rex's father, teaches. He was there. I'm trying to remember. See, because I went through the whatever they had. It's called Magical Worlds.
Did you?
Class.
I'm coming back for it.
It was awesome.
I'm coming back for it.
yeah.
I just picked up the books today in the Welcome
So-
Center. I read the third book that Roy wrote.
So it's the first class was like 11 hours or something, and the next morning at 4 a.m. my brain is like, it's a semester crammed.
yes.
Yeah.
Really, really good. But you're
That's
doing.
what day 2, the whiskey, of the second
Psalm
whiskey,
2.
Psalm 2. After lunch,
It's a
you've
cram.
taken your test, and now all of a sudden, the joy begins, and they have a new teacher come in. It's Roy's understudy, Maddie. No. Dang it, I can't remember his name right now. Roy's second in command.
Okay.
Comes in and he teaches a writing class.
Okay.
And that is just that. My mind was doing that for like a week and a half after class.
So I took the magic. I think it's called Magical World.
It is called Magical World.
You don't dress up as Disney characters, but so I took
Potter.
that first, and then took the Psalm 1 class, and then taught the class on sharing with whiskeys. Daniel wanted me to see how they teach and do
Yeah.
classes, but that first class I took, I mean, I was like, holy cow, there was so much cram in my brain. Then I realized Roy Williams is a freaking genius. A
Genius.
genius.
There's a reason they called him the Wizard of
Yeah,
Oz.
he has an insight into history, culture, and art, and then how you would apply that to communications.
Yes.
And then how do you apply that into
Sales.
marketing? Yeah, marketing and
Yes.
sales. And so, but the thing is, I felt like when I took the Psalm 1 class, I could see there was
Just
a
those
sprinkle.
glimmers.
Yeah, there was a sprinkle of it in the Psalm 1 class. But I'm seeing that, but everybody else doesn't see it because they didn't take the previous class.
Right.
So now if you take this class afterwards and you kind of do it in reverse, you're going to understand, oh, this is really the root of all this.
Yeah.
All this. And it would be I would like to actually go through that class again, because it's like reading a book again or seeing a movie again. You get more
You
out of
catch
it.
stuff you didn't catch the
Yes,
first time.
exactly.
Yeah.
But
Because
it's awesome.
especially with Roy and just how brilliant he really is. I've read in a couple of his books, and just he'll make a poignant point, and your brain will just click into all of these little things will click in your head, and you're not listening to what he's now
I
saying.
know
because your
because
brain
your
is like,
brain is
oh my
like-
god, what the hell?
Yeah, you
just
start thinking
happened?
about it. You start analyzing. You're chewing on it. You're chewing on it.
Yes.
You kind of wish. I wish I had this on tape so I could go back over it again.
Yes. Yes. That was exactly what day 2 of level 2 whiskey song was
Oh, okay,
like.
cool.
And it was just,
Now I'm totally excited.
Yeah.
Looking for it.
It was fun.
It
I
wasn't
loved
fun
it.
because it was just bourbon and
Unfortunately, I
rye.
might have to call from work because I'm sick that week.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. All I'm saying is take notes.
Yeah.
Take all the notes. Because the test is a lot of dates.
Okay, cool. Oh,
And,
okay.
I mean, if you get dates mixed
Yes,
up and if you know,
WSET and certified exams, dates. And that's actually the most challenging things because you start to lose them.
right.
Because
As soon as you don't
it's
use it.
abstract.
Especially when it's like year after year after year, and then you go into the next, like,
Right.
these all happened in the 1800s, and then this happens in the 1900s, and then, it's just,
Right. I'm looking forward to it. Really cool.
it was a lot of information.
So let me ask you,
that-
so is there anything from you picked up from this that you think maybe you guys have at least a little bit carried over into how you guys do the Whiskey Tuber channel? You think maybe? Or maybe how you could. Even if you're not doing it now, how could we because that's to be a better communicator, to get ideas and concepts, to take challenging, concepts from here to here so that the average person can understand them. Get the hay out of the loft, down where the cows can eat them. is really my goal.
Yeah.
I mean, I can talk in a way that you lose everybody. And it doesn't do
I think
anything.
what you just did, though, is exactly how we do it, analogies and bringing
Right.
it back down to earth and trying to
Right.
figure out ways to talk at the level that we need to talk at
Right.
To bring in.
So one of the things I have tried to do as a whiskey tuber is try to at least a little bit import that into my videos. And in addition to watching videos on how to be more artful, how to be editing, how to do all the other, the visual and deal with the platform in the way it is. I wish I had a partner who had better technical skills than I did. I mean, I kind of get by, but there's so much that I think if someone being a whiskey tuber, you can learn from these classes and then import them into being a whiskey tuber or whatever else that I think would be really, really, really useful to it. I mean, you can learn what you want to learn about whiskey from reading books and watching videos and not taking this class.
Yeah.
But it's the communication skills.
The marketing, the communications, how to present yourself, put yourself out there.
I became a better person at work.
You don't work.
When I was working, I became a better somm. I became a better wine somm after taking the whiskey somm class. Just being able to stand up, with my head up a little bit higher and just, knowing how to command a room a little bit better.
Right.
Same as far as it's same for me for work and as far as putting myself out there at work with the ideas that I have in my head and being able to, tell them what I want and what I mean instead of just sitting behind and waiting for the meeting to be over and then emailing my boss.
I feel bad. I've kind of been neglecting the audience. I'm sorry. Rick at My Whiskey Journal says, "Have fun, Eric. Have a pour for me." I definitely am. Sorry, I know we've been chatting and so forth, and I know you guys tend to chat amongst yourselves, so I apologize if I've been ignoring you. I don't know if I've seen any. No, you guys are all talking amongst yourselves. Hold on. Donner passed a while back. He says he was in a chat earlier at Lakita with a trunk full of bottles unloading.
Nice.
Will. Okay, saying hi to Will and Sarah. Sorry, I know I've been neglecting the audience. I shouldn't do that. But anyhow, we're having a good time. Yes, we're having.
It's been a while since we've seen you in person too. So
Yeah, it's good to see y'all. Good to see y'all.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a question. What color was your hair last time we did the
Bastard's Ball? Yes. Rainbow. It was rainbow.
A rainbow. Okay. We would know if you watch my Whiskey Tubers video, then we'll know for sure. So I'll watch it later and see if she's right. See if she remembers.
I'm pretty sure it was rainbow. Yeah, pretty sure. But what it's been between then and now is everything.
All of the things.
All of the things.
Okay, there you go.
All of the colors. Except for black.
I think we should try to go in the ball. I really want some eyeless ones.
So it's a little after 7. Been going for a few hours. I thought I'd go for an hour or something like that. So I've gone a lot.
2 hours and what?
Holy cow! 2 hours and 30. I've gone for a really long time. So I kind of want to cut this off and then go mingle a little bit.
Yeah,
and
I've been sitting here for a while.
And I probably should have a cup of coffee or something like that.
Or a coffee cocktail.
Or a coffee cocktail. Yeah, we need more alcohol. So, hey, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. It's been awesome hanging out here. I'm really, really glad I took the time off from work, came out here because I was on the border of not coming out here due to work because my mind is like work, and working weekends and stuff. So, really glad I came out here. Yeah, I'm having a jolly good time drinking the whiskeys, but to be able to meet up with fellow whiskey tubers and whiskey friends, and because that's what it's all about. So, hey, I'm going to hang it up. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. And Roy, if for some strange reason you're watching this on the replay, we miss you. We love you. And we'll see you again. We'll see you next year. So, hey, anybody watching us on the replay, why would you watch this on the replay? I don't know.
Should have been here.
Should have been here. Anyway. So, but I'm really, really thankful to be here. And so if you haven't already, give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to these guys, Whiskey Crusaders, check them out. They go live on Mondays. Excuse me. Just allergies. I don't have the vid. All righty. Cheers, y'all. And Sanjivan. And here's mud in your eye.